It feels like it's been too long. Welcome back, everyone, to another amazing session of Platinum Watch. When we last left off, the party had stopped at the ferry stop and made their way down the river towards the Boneyard as they had to investigate rumors of necromancy, which Amelia confirmed were full-blown acts of... What would you call it? Terrormancy? We'll call it terrormancy. Terrormancy. Where they were using necromancy to break the laws of the current country and brain terrorist attacks with exploding undead. Exploding undead sounds fun. Exploding undead is good. We'll stick with those exploding undead. So they arrived in the port town of Boshan after having a rough go with the river itself. The pirates and monster along the way posed little to no threat, but the river was the real enemy. It almost killed one of you. Which... Using that as a transition, we'll get into the party introductions. She who almost drowned, Maxine the Mauler, Eileen, champion of Cord, played by the lovely Brett Brederson.
Yo!
That river was the real enemy. That was the real final boss.
I kicked its ass.
He who saved the lady from the river, Trappet Dosselin, played by the Hawk Abridged.
It was a pleasure to lend my assistance.
And I needed it for once.
Of course, the ever-amazing Blood Mage bad boy, Malcolm Blackmore, played by John.
When I die, you're gonna have to bury me with all my ice on.
Of course, the second not-so-edgy, but still kind of edgy boy, Merrick Gilder, the werewolf blood hunter, played by Storm Sage 13.
Hey, happy to be back.
And, of course, last but not least, the good boy, the best boy, the only boy that anyone ever needs, Rando Mishorm, druid extraordinaire, played by Zodiac Zach 19.
Oh, I'm actually touched.
Well, everyone's agreed you are the best boy. Like, Rando is such a sweet bean, he must be defended at all costs.
He must be protected, even at the expense of his own life.
And joining us to play... And joining us to round out this session, playing the new and illustrious... I have to actually look up your character's last name, because I know your first name. Avok Korik is the ever-amazing Savage Red Beast 13.
Hey, guys. How's it going?
And just because I'm explaining this now, I'm going to go ahead and rip this Band-Aid off. Rook will no longer be joining us for this campaign. Some things have come up, and it's just going to be how it is, so Red Beast will be taking his place.
Yeah,
so
I'm happy to join the team, guys.
Yeah, boy!
So, now now that that's done, we're going to be moving on to the next bit of the thing, which is, of course, the game itself. So, when last we left off, you all had arrived in Boshan. You kind of... Malcolm, you had a bit of a family reunion with your next older brother, Joffrey. Not Edwin, the dick, but you had a run-in with Joffrey, your good big brother.
Yeah, me and him used to race out on the track and wrestle when he was training to be a paladin. Even though I was a wizard and a nerd, we always got into them wrestling matches, and he was a good brother.
He let you win once. And then you're like, wow, I'm so strong. And then he immediately beats you and is like, no.
Oh my
remember
God,
this defeat.
Nicer than Maxine.
Damn.
And, of course, Trappet, you went shopping in the Market District, and I realized... I'm sorry I didn't get in touch with you out of game for that. I did not have a lot of time this week. We were kind of going through a lot of stuff at work, so my apologies. Maxine, of course, you dropped off the location of the pirate treasure at the Platinum Watch HQ. As I said before, unbeknownst to you, that commander has taken that and the credit. So, congratulations on being gullible.
Whatever.
Whatever, I'll break his legs later.
If Maxine finds out, she's gonna beat him up for it, but...
And Rando, you spent most of your times distracted by Shadowwind, because he is a very chatty spirit.
Apparently.
And Merrick, you investigated the Temple of Paylor to find it in ruins. No sign whatsoever that your father had been through here recently, so the hunt continues.
Yeah.
At least he has a dad.
Stop!
Damn.
Anyway,
My wolf heart. Oh.
my frozen DM heart thaws briefly.
Ah, yes. Poor
Maxine does
orphan
not have a
Randy.
heart.
But you have a father.
Maxine doesn't have a heart. Her heart is full of jello.
Jello.
I don't know. It's the only thing I can think of considering.
Yeah, understandable.
Her heart
we'll
is
get
made
to
up of
that
pieces
another
of
day.
corpse.
There is no heart.
It
There's
can
just
melt, but there's nothing there.
there is no heart. There is only the stony exterior and one small lint truffle-sized creamy center.
I'm uncomfortable with that description, but that's okay.
Okay. Well, you know what? Forget you.
The DM wills it.
You hurt my feelings.
No, I can't. The fact that you used creamy towards something like a muscular heart.
Well,
No. Okay. You know what? We're getting past this. I was doing a
let's just continue.
I was doing a candy metaphor, but I guess that's lost on some people. Some people don't have sweet tooths.
You're talking Twinkies, right?
Pretty much. Thank you, Zach. All right. So, when we last left off, you guys said you were going to be settling at the... Joffrey was at the Azure Maiden, and you guys were going to the Drowned Siren to hit up the bar and drink and have a good time.
Hell yeah.
So...
Merrick's buying around for everyone in the bar. Well, our team. I'm not buying something for everyone. I don't want to be ridiculous.
I have a question. What is this?
So...
Ale.
Oh no.
I was gonna either I was trying to figure out whether I was gonna do this like you guys actually sit down and you talk a bit, or if you go straight to the dream sequence. I'm gonna have like a small amount of side conversations, so each of you can pick someone to pair off with and have a conversation with. So we'll go round robin. First, we'll start with Merrick. Who do you want to talk to?
I want to talk to Malcolm for a quick bit.
Okay.
Oh,
All right. Going down the line, Trap It. Who do you want to talk to?
I'll talk to the elf boy.
All right, you'll talk to Rando. Maxine,
Okay.
who are you talking to?
I don't know. I'm gonna get drunk.
Okay, Maxine's getting drunk. She's voting to pass. Malcolm, who are you talking to?
Malcolm's probably gonna, after he's done talking with Merrick, go talk to Maxine because she's getting drunk, and
Yeah.
he's gonna be like making sure she doesn't go too far.
All right, Rando, who are you talking to?
I'm still trying to figure out what we're drinking.
You're drinking ale, but who I'm asking who do you, Zach the player, want to have your character talk to?
I know. My character's probably just gonna like talk to whoever's like in the area because.
Shadowin.
All right, I get it.
Probably after
Whoever's in the area, I'll be like, oh, you mean the spirit literally hovering over your shoulder? Yeah, okay.
Can I change my answer to after her talk with Malcolm? Probably will be like, hey, Merrick.
Sure. I could just have the three of you sit down and talk at the same time if that's easier.
Sure.
All right, so we'll say that for the first part, Merrick buys rounds for everybody, and they all kind of drink and have drink and have a little bit of a good time. We'll start with Rando. So Rando, as you are trying, like, it's not the first time you've ever tried ale, and it just kind of tastes like a fruit, like a crushed apple to you. Honestly, like it's like a crushed apple with wheat. It doesn't taste like much, and you've never really, you don't think you've ever been like out of your mind from it, but. Oh, okay. You're just getting rounds for everyone in the party? Alex?
Yes.
How many rounds you buying?
Just one each.
One each? Oh, like 5 silver. It's like
Oh,
a
I
silver.
have exactly 5 silver.
It's like a silver for each of you. So,
Oh.
or it's a little off. Like there's 6 of you and it's 5 silver. Just go with it. Take the 5 silver.
Sure.
Shut up.
Shh, just take it.
So, Rando, as you kind of drink this beverage, I mean, you're not super used to the taste. It does taste a little icky to you. I'll just use that word because that's an easy way to describe something that a child would think. They're like, ugh, it's icky.
Yeah, that's kind of gross.
But you just keep drinking it because it does still taste like apples, and, you know, apples are
I
yummy.
mean, apples, nature, you know.
It's yummy. So as you drink, and you just kind of... You're not really enjoying the city scene. It's a little too loud for you, but this place is kind of like, it's got its nice own ambience to it, so it's just kind of almost like you were in the woods. Like, you're relating the laughter to the of the sailors to the cry of deer, the chirping of the barmaids to the chirping of birds. You're just kind of finding relations between things to make this a more comfortable setting for yourself.
It all connects.
And as you are here, sipping from your cup, enjoying the ambience of the inn, a slow voice creeps out from behind you.
God damn it.
Master, it says, kind of with a hint of irritation to its voice.
Yeah? He's gonna turn toward...
He kind of looks around the bar. Why do we rest in this place when there is much work that needs to be done?
Because my team's here.
And he looks across him. He goes, "The sorcerer and wizards are but hindrances. They will eventually betray for pursuit of knowledge or power. The blood wanter is tainted. He will devour. The paladin is self-righteous, arrogant, foolish. She will not help us. And the dragon fights more with himself than he does with everyone else. Someone so imbalanced cannot help my mission."
Did we ever talk what your mission is?
He groans loudly. "We have discussed, but I will reiterate. Balance must be preserved. For pain there must be healing. For death there must be life. For arrogance there must be humility. We bring that which is missing."
Huh. Wow. That's pretty cool.
Yes. I sensed your presence would help me most. Your devotion to the order of life and death is admirable. But your youth is a hindrance.
Well, I mean, it's not like I can really fix that.
There are ways to circumvent that which you don't have, to bring balance to you if you wish.
He thinks about it for a moment. Well, I mean, that'd be kind of cool. I mean, but I'm kind of happy with where I am right now.
Then after all our talks of balance, of peace, of inner tranquility, you know nothing yet.
But I'm at peace with myself right now.
No. Your emotions are settled. Your body is growing, but it is not matured. Your mind is yet malleable and racked with answers. So persistent and buzzing. You know much, but know so little. And yet you still hunger for one truth. You are not at peace. You are at war. As at war as you've always been.
idea. And what war is that?
A war of doubt. A war of uncertainty. A war of fear.
Fear. How am I What? How?
Not surface fears, inner fears. You hunger for the answer. Who is your father? Who is your mother? But the fear nagging, is that they are dead and you will never know.
What? That's not true.
Do not seek to hide. What is clear to me, we share a bond. I know what you know, and in time you will come to know what I know. But I grow weary of this roundabout discussion, and my form can only remain for so long. I will rest now.
Well, wait, I have more questions.
And like that, you're met with silence.
Ooh, deep.
Fucking yes, it was, boy. All right.
Bravo.
Thank you, my dude. All right. On that note, we're gonna go up with Trap It to follow that act up. So while you're probably on, what would you say, your second cup, maybe? Depends on how lively the party is, right?
Are you talking about me being on a second cup or Zach being on a second
Yeah,
cup?
you, Hawk.
Oh, yeah. Trapid is carrying a large stein of ale at this point.
Okay, so have you finished your first one?
Yeah, he's on a second. He's bought a round for everybody else.
Okay, so that's another 5 silver from you.
Yes.
So you head over to Rando, because as you were just kind of drinking and living in revelry, you kind of noticed he looked a little uncertain and like he was talking to himself for a while, but now he just looks kind of uncertain and a little doubtful and kind of a little worried. And something just kind of tugs at your very, very, very tight-strung heartstrings.
What was the last thing Rando said?
He was like, wait, what? But I still have more questions.
I still have more questions, yep.
Alright, I woke up basically when I hear that, I go, and what questions would that be, laddie?
Nothing.
Well, what do you be drinking?
It tastes like apples? It's some kind of like drink? It's like apple juice, something like that?
Huh, well, as long as
Yeah.
it's non-alcoholic. You're too young for the hard stuff yet, lad.
Should I roll to see if I know if it is or not?
You can feel free to.
And I'm gonna check and see if it is alcoholic, I guess.
Well, I don't know.
Yeah, you have no clue. Now it's Trappett's turn to find out if he knows.
What am I rolling? Just a straight 20 or?
We'll just say it's that is a good question. Medicine.
Investigate.
Medicine.
Oh, medicine. Be a 13.
Well, it smells like apples.
Like, I didn't realize I had cider here.
Yeah, apparently it's kind of good. Ish. I mean, I've had better.
Well, you're growing, lad. You shouldn't have too much alcohol stunting your growth.
Wait, it does that? That's a thing?
Travis smiles and nods. Oh, alcohol does many wondrous things, and many horrific ones.
What?
Yes. For instance, certain spellcasters, the spells come out backwards if they have alcohol in them.
What? This is amazing.
It can be a bit messy.
He just starts
actually.
downing his drink.
Hey.
Make a Constitution saving throw.
No.
All right. Oof. So that Constitution. I have no That's a 3.
Oh dear.
Okay.
I am drunk off my ass.
Trap it. You see him finish his drink, and he sits there for a minute and looks like he's like completely fine. He was just like, huh. And then like you see like the color, like the blood like rush to his face, and he just like staggers a moment and grabs the table. He's like looking around, and then like a smile, like the biggest smile comes across his face, and he just starts laughing.
By the way,
Oh, that is awesome.
I'm not buying a drink for him.
I
I just slowly reach out and put my hand over the glass and slide it away. Waitress, a pint of water for this lad.
Who needs water when you got apple juice?
This is not apple juice. Tell me about yourself, boy.
Well, what do you want to know?
I'm just curious as to where you've come from, what you've seen. We're gonna be traveling together for the foreseeable future. It behooves us to learn more about one another.
Well, I'm. He kind of like just burps a little. Sorry about that. I lived in the woods for like 50 years. That's kind of cool. He pulls out his ladder. I got this thing out. I got this little buddy here.
I'm gonna reach out and like gently tap him on the shoulder. Hey, let's not extend that in here.
All right, you're the boss.
He puts it back in his pocket.
Yeah.
It get a bit messy. All the breakable drinks and patrons.
He kind of like he pulls out his sword like with the sheath. He unhooks it from his side. I got this from my more or less dad. He was kind of cool. Too bad he died. Like everything else.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that you lost your father. That's very unfortunate.
Oh no! Funny story. I actually don't know my dad. I don't even know my mom.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
Yeah. Just my more, I guess you could say, adoptive father. He's the one that gave me my my last name, Mishroom. Mishorm. Yeah.
He just have he has trouble pronouncing his own name for like it's like watching Nemo say anemone.
Anemone.
Yeah. So, was he an elf as well?
No, he was actually
He was a human.
a human.
Ah, that would explain that then.
He went by the name of Port Bellows Mishorm.
Well,
He was really cool.
Believe me, boy, you're more likely better off being raised by a human than an elf. The majority of our kind are rather arrogant and stuck up.
Yeah, like that one guy when we all first met. He was. What's that word that I heard? What's that one word I heard? Ass. I think that's the word.
Ah, yes.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, I think it means I think it means jerk.
It means he was an asshole. Reprehensible.
Like a butt?
Yes. Just think of him as something that excrement just spews from.
Ew.
You'll find me the exact same way.
Wait, we're assholes? He says that kind of loud.
People begin to look
Oh,
over at you. Like, Trap It, you notice people are, like, looking at you both now.
Yes,
Oh, no.
yes, we are. Get back to drinking.
Depends on the day.
Traffic
Wow.
just slides more water to him. Alright, keep
Thanks.
drinking up, boy. Don't want to have a unfortunate morning.
Why?
Remember,
Mornings
we're
are
on the
usually
clock.
really good for me.
By the way, Zach, I am going to make you make a Constitution saving throw in the morning.
Oh.
So it's your choice whether to drink water or not.
I'm downing that. Yeah, I'm downing that. He's giving me stuff to drink. I'm drinking it.
He's just like, it's more apple juice. And you're like, yay! And you're like, this doesn't taste like apples. He's like, sure it does!
like apple juice.
I'm also going to order a nice wine for myself.
Actually, technically speaking, you could prestidigitation it to taste like apples.
No, good. Does he have, or yeah, he has ability. I don't have that one.
Fair enough.
Instantly,
Hold on, actually, Malcolm, does minor illusion work that way? Could he minor illusion to taste like
Uh,
apples?
No, minor illusion only
Damn.
creates images and sounds. Damn.
I can make him
But
think there's an apple tree
prestidigitation
above it.
does alter the taste of food.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, is prestidigitation the water to make it taste like apple juice.
Yep.
Oh well.
So, what's your end game, boy?
Well, what do you mean? Like,
What do you wish to do? Why are you traveling, seeing the world? How'd you end
Well-
up with this lot?
I just wanted excitement. Like, you know, I mean, like 2/3 of my bounties were easy. I got bored.
Boredom is what drives me as well. Our kind are very long-lived. It's good to have a hobby. Or
Yeah,
several. Again, you don't want to end up as an asshole, as we have previously mentioned some.
I have hobbies. He pulls out his flute. You want some music? You guys want some music? He starts shouting.
The bar patrons all raise their glasses and go, yeah!
I
Please,
nod
no.
approvingly and raise my glass a little bit too, like, yeah, sure.
Alright, so that's
Go for it.
where we're going to temporarily suspend this conversation while you play your flute. We're going to pick up with Merrick, Malcolm, and Maxine, and Trap It and Rando. If you guys want to resume this conversation after theirs, we'll feel free to.
Yeah.
Alright, Merrick, Maxine, and Malcolm. Maxine, make a Constitution saving throw.
Oh, I'm not gonna make one. She's already fucked. You know her too well.
So you've been, like, cup after cup, like, Merrick pays for
She's
one.
sloshed.
Like, Merrick pays for one, Trap It pays for one, you pay for 7.
You're fine.
Malcolm, is she always like this? Like from when you two hung out?
Oh, not typically, no. In fact, the roles were quite reversed. Normally, she'd be the one telling me to stop being sloppy drunk. And it's funny.
Nah.
This is the first drink I've had since I've gotten free. I thought I'd be terribly... Well, I guess there was that toilet wine I made, but...
You
We
made
don't talk about
toilet
that.
wine! I'm sorry, what?
Yeah.
I don't know why she turned British for a second. I'm sorry, what?
Yeah, they got pretty desperate in prison, so I made some toilet wine.
It was Lowe's fault.
Wow.
Yeah.
Sit
Action.
back.
So, you use blood magic.
Yeah, I do.
That's a topic change. Toilet
Yeah.
wine! Blood magic,
Yeah.
really?
Yeah, I use it too with my blood maledics, but the reason I bring it up is because we're about to fight a bunch of necromancers doing God knows what on top of a city built on the corpse of a Tarask. Do you guys think the Tarask is their endgame or something else? What's in the Boneyard outside of the Tarask? I mean,
Well, I don't know much about the area myself. I've not studied it.
some fucking bullshit. We'll kick their ass. It's fine.
Well, I guess if I have you here tonight, the two of you, and you two are the squad leaders, I might go over my idea for how we'll conduct ourselves tomorrow. Or
I'd be happy
maybe I
to.
should
Are we
wait.
talking business when we're supposed to be having fun?
Just because I bought drinks doesn't mean it is a party.
Start
Maxine,
sheepishly
God
kicking my
bless.
legs.
Maxine.
What?
Maxine.
What?
Never
What?
changed.
What do you need?
What happened when I was gone? You're not normally like this.
I guess I got more into the drinking scene. You should blame Merrick. He's the one who took me for a drink the first time when I was in Platinum Watch.
That was for bonding.
We bond a lot.
Yeah, well, my master used to take me out for drinks after practice. It's one of the few things I kept to when I was in Platinum Watch.
It's a nice habit. I like it.
Yeah. Couldn't keep up with
Wow.
the meditation during basics, so I figured I'd keep up with the drinks.
For sure.
It's certainly not my favorite vice, but I enjoy it when I can.
Yeah.
No, you're all about the edgy bullshit.
Yeah, I am. I don't think I'm gonna get my hands on any of that anytime soon, though.
Hopefully not.
Hopefully, she says. Hopefully not.
Leave.
Listen, I've got some contacts down in the Underdark, so the second we head back down there, I've got myself hooked up good.
Uh-huh. Just stay safe, okay? I'm not gonna sit here and lecture you about whatever bullshit you're doing. I just want you to be safe when you're doing it.
Yeah, you
Use
too.
protection. I don't.
Always.
This is fine. I'm fine. I'm a big girl. I can take care of myself.
You know how many
I don't-
times you've told me that, and then broken down and started crying?
Are you in front of Matt? I cannot fucking believe you. You're so lucky that I am this sloshed and will forget this when I'm. I'd kick.
Sober?
Yeah,
That was the word you were looking for.
yeah, it is.
Yeah, I
Thanks,
am really
Merrick.
You're welcome, boss.
Boss.
Don't give her the pleasure of calling her that.
She won't remember when she's sober.
Good point.
That's what you want to think.
Yeah, so don't ruin it for me.
She's got like, you don't see Maxine smile, and she's got this small, albeit small, goofy little grin on her face.
Hey
That's-
guys, who wants me to play music? Please no.
Go for it.
And then this is when the music
Fucking
happens.
yes!
So roll performance.
All right. Fuck.
Is it shitty?
How
bad?
Think of the worst possible thing, and yeah, I'm not gonna finish that quote, so it's a 6.
I'm gonna throw a mug at him.
It's like
Question. Before
Can
she
I roll
throws
with
the mug at him,
disadvantage?
Can I use minor illusion to make him sound good?
yes.
Thank you.
Roll
Fucking
that. Roll that.
asshole,
Roll that.
I'm gonna throw a
D20
mug at
again.
him. You're ruining my
I'm
fun.
an 11. I'm an 11-year-old drunk.
I know, but
Okay.
I wanna hit ya.
Okay,
Don't.
Rando, roll that second D20, please.
Okay. Okay.
Oh, is he rolling with advantage? Is it even worse?
So what?
So that's you can't even even with magic, it's difficult to mask how terrible it is.
Can I throw the mug at him or what?
Roll a
Yes, I
D20
deserve
with
at this
disadvantage.
I deserve
Okay.
If it leaves her hand, Merrick's going to
Oh,
try.
fuck! I dropped a nat 20! This is bullshit!
Like I said, it's disadvantage, so it
You
wouldn't
know
matter
what?
anyway.
I got a 19, though. I got a 19 and a 20.
I deserve it at this point.
So you try to catch it, the mug just flies out with such force that as you're kind of like, waltzing around playing the flute and everyone's just kind of clutching their ears, the mug smacks you square in the head.
I'm like, she's not throwing it particularly hard. She's just throwing it to hit him.
I know, but it's still... You're drunk. You can't
No,
gauge
of
your
course.
strength.
That's fair.
Yeah, I think with my character being drunk, he's just gonna get hit and just out cold at this point.
Yeah, you are.
Maxine,
So he just
even off with it.
down.
So at this point,
What?
because almost 30 minutes or 40 minutes have passed, I'm gonna go ahead and jump us into that sequence. So
Wait,
as
can I do 2 things
Okay.
as we're heading to bed, please?
yeah, because at this point you guys are having to literally drag an unconscious rando to bed. So bedtime is now. So you got
Come
some
on,
time.
Maxine, we'll get you there.
When they start getting up, first Maxine's gonna grab Malcolm by the collar of his, like, the back of his shirt and pull him, like, so her mouth is, like, really close to his ear, and she's gonna be like, I fucking missed you. Glad you're back. Don't scare me like that again or whatever. Thanks for being alive, whatever. And she's gonna push him away and yeah, I think that'll be it.
As we
Maybe.
leave, though, I'm just going to mention to her, you know, it's not very, but it doesn't really breed much loyalty for a commanding officer to strike the youngest member of the group.
It's a learning curve. You should have seen. I got my ass beat so much. And look at me. I'm like amazing.
As she's saying this, she's like gesturing to herself, but like she's looking at herself confused. Like, wait, is this me?
Is it? I'm sorry. Is it me in the
So at this
I mean,
point,
the
like,
reflection? It's
it's-
confusing.
at this
It's gonna
point,
be you in bed, sleeping tenderly tonight. Don't worry, we'll get
Oh,
you.
that
Yeah.
sounds nice. Thank you.
Come
It's
on,
okay,
Alex.
I got Rando.
At
And
the-
I just throw him over my
well,
shoulder.
at this
I can
point,
sleep
at-
safely because
at-
you
at-
guys
at-
are here.
at this
Do
point,
I have a type?
at this point, Malcolm and Merrick are helping Maxine up the stairs. Rook has thrown Rando over his shoulder and is just carrying him up while he's finishing everyone's drinks. Like, I mean, he's got like 7 in his hand. He's just like, drops one, drops one, drops one.
I
Oh.
slide his hand away when he goes to reach for my drink.
Yeah, you're just like, hey, put it... Nice wine!
I paid for this wine. I'm going to sit down here and finish it.
All right, so now we get into the fun stuff.
Oh no.
We'll start with Rando,
Oh no.
because you're unconscious.
Yeah. Oh no. I'm scared.
The noise of the city doesn't quite suit you as you prefer the din of the forests, but this inn is surprisingly warm and peaceful. As you drift into unconsciousness, you awake in the woods. The warm face of Port Bellos Mishorm greets you as you wander through the woods, fishing, playing music, tending to the animals you've grown to love as your companions.
Oh my god.
As you tend to the animals carefully, making sure not to startle them, and making sure to very gently feed them so they don't scurry away, you turn back to your father, and he is gone. So you rush through the woods, calling out for him, first walking, then jogging, then running. With each call, the woods call back. You'll never know. You'll never know. You'll never know. You run faster and faster, the woods blurring into shades of green and brown as the mocking grows louder and faster. You'll never know! You'll never know! You'll never know! Finally, it blurs into darkness. And you look around the void until a light shines on 2 graves. You rush forward in a panic as the fear of your parents' demise weighing on you finally sinks in. You approach the graves and find that the names are worn away. A loud, booming voice rings in your very bones. You'll never know! Maxine! As the warm inn fades,
Oh no.
you awaken on a simple wooden chair in a familiar sun-kissed cottage in the mountains. The cold snow and wind outside offset by the warmth of the hearth and those who dwell inside. So you smile faintly at the sight of your father trying to bake bread for the morning's meal. The thing that stands out most to you in this idyllic setting, however, is the sight of your mother, alive and well. She scolds your father for burning the bread yet again. She delivers a playful punch to his shoulder, which staggers the large man, to which she laughs. A warm, exuberant laugh that is infectious in nature until you're all laughing at the odd scene. As you prepare for breakfast, you sit down, and the chair at the table splinters in your grasp. As you stumble back, you grasp the table, breaking it in half. You stumble in surprise and struggle to your feet. As you grab the coat rack near the stairs, you raise yourself from the ground and it's reduced to pulp in your hands. As you grab the banister of the railing gives way, collapsing on the stairs itself. You finally find yourself back on your feet, struggling to stand. But as you look to your parents, expecting concern, all you see on their faces is shock and horror. As you go to approach them, they recoil, not out of caution, but out of genuine fear. And so you leave the idyllic scene behind and walk with no particular destination in mind, crying out for help for this curse of strength in your bones. But no matter where you go, no one lends a hand to Maxine the Mutilator. Maxine the Monster. Trap it. Another night of drinking among comrades and trading tales of glory. A game at which you have no equal had come to a close, and so came the warm embrace of sleep. Your eyelids close on a lively setting in full heat with warmth and song. And you open your eyes to an even warmer villa, full of coin and splendor, drinks flowing freely, the embrace of any opposite or same sex not far from your reach, and song and art from every continent on display. Spread across the scene are those you've come close enough to call your friend, and even those you'd come so close to call love. Along this road of life that is your own, it is a beautiful sight that almost brings a tear to your eye. No, almost. What entrances you more is the setting, a villa on the bluffs of Estera, the kingdom where you called home for so many years. And at the bottom of a cove that is so familiar, you see a magnificent ship with ruby-red sails, finishes of mahogany and gold, and 72 cannons strong. Your dream ship, the Marianne. But a sound stirs you from your blissful ship as you turn to see those in your party hacking and coughing. In almost an instant they've aged, some already bones and dust, others withered skin, dotted with marks of age and illness. They claw and limp their way towards you, like an undead horde demanding to know the secret of your everlasting youth. As you recoil in fear, you run like your father, the coward. Run to your ship, to safety and freedom. Run until their cries and gasps are naught but silence. As you arrive, the once great Marianne is dust, cloth, and steel, a useless wreck floating in port. You drop to your knees and begin to weep as a familiar hand caresses your face. You look up to see her slender features and stunning emerald eye. As your left eye is golden, hers is right in the same hue. She smiles, a wicked and tempting smile. I will be the only companion you'll ever know, Takasin, my love, as your sight fades to darkness. That was fun. Let's see, who do I want to do next? Let's do Malcolm. As the din of the inn fades around you and you slumber off to dreamland, a place foreign to you in the year of watching your back in that infernal prison, you find yourself in a familiar dream, a pleasant dream. The candles flicker as you pour the material components into bowls around the item you've chosen for your phylactery, and you go over the ancient scroll you dug up from a dark temple on the ritual for this darkened depth of immortality. You read and recite the arcana flowing through your veins and your components. The circle glows crimson light as the materials burst into orange flame one by one. The phylactery flickers red and begins to pulse as you feel a drawing sensation in your chest. The pulsing in your phylactery begins to pulse in rhythm with your heartbeat. And slowly, your heart begins to form in the object of your choosing. As you watch in glee of your long-awaited immortality, free to pursue the secrets of knowledge of the universe, your scroll bursts into blue flames against your will. You turn in anger and find a longsword driving through your gut. You look and see Maxine's face contorted in rage. You open your mouth to cry out in horror, and she shoves you against the wall, demands to know why you betrayed her, betrayed your friends. You think, wondering what she could be talking about, as you see behind her your family, your party, your employees and servants, all with a blade or a rope. They lash your limbs and begin to seal you in a stone coffin. You scream, but they gag you and lower you deeper and deeper into the ground. They drive their blades through the box, locking you in place, as your immortality, only half done, prevents you from embracing sweet death, but not from feeling the pain of their betrayal. Each blade a stinging reminder, your screams muffled in the darkness as they bury you to starve and thirst and go mad. All those you love turned against you. You cry out for Asmodeus, but there is no response. Only silence. Merrick. Yours is actually the longest, so this is going to be fun. The inn fades from your view. So the rowdiness of this sailor's bar reminds you of the rowdiness of the barracks of the Lycan Order. You fall to sleep with a hearty smile on your face. As you awake, you find yourselves in the gentle fields of the kingdom of High Rock, your home. The sweep of the breeze is gentle and tinged with salt from the coast you had once called home. As you reminisce, you find a familiar wooden sword jammed in your face, as the smiling face of one Cullen Gilder rouses you from your daydream. If you have time to put your head in the clouds, boy, then you have time to put a blade in your hands. Get up! You shed a few tears, as you'd truly forgotten this feeling. Love. Unconditional and unyielding. You take the blade and spar with your father. What was once grunts of anger turn into jovial laughter, almost like a child. As minutes turn to hours, then sweat begins to drip from you both. You laugh and collapse in a heap. However, this gentle moment will not last. As a familiar horn is blown, your father rises for battle. War is on the horizon. He heads to home and dons his armor and weapons, the familiar symbol of Palor gracing his chestplate and shield. You beg, you plead him not to go. Avoid this fight, stay a while longer. Tell me you love me. But he says he must go, that these things must wait for another time. As he leaves, you run after him, chasing him, trying to beg him to stay. One last time, one more hour, one more minute, one more second. But he goes through the thicket. Your pursuit from him goes from simple woods to thick brambles and blackened trees. You find yourself no longer running towards him, but running away from the beast, a shadowy thing that hunts you through the woods, as they are treacherous and foreign. You run and run, but you can't run further, and you just keep running. Sorry, that was misphrased. You run and run until you can't run any further, and then keep running. But it is ever present, ever gaining, because it will never leave. You realize the futility of an unsuspecting... this is very poorly spaced. You realize the futility of your actions, for the beast is your shadow, and you are a beast. You emerge from the thicket upon an unsuspecting group of people. You beg them to flee, cry out for them to run, but all that escapes your lips is a roar of hunger and a howl for blood. You ravage and tear, break and drink, slake your thirst in their blood and fear, until you glimpse at their faces. Maxine, Malcolm, Trappet, Rando, Rook, Duncan, Cullen, Gareth. Your friends, your mentors, your fathers, your sisters, your brothers. And you howl at your failure and weakness. And that's step one. So I don't know if everybody's muted or if Discord dropped the call again.
Fuck! We were muted.
We were
thank
all
God.
muted.
What do you mean, part one?
I mean part one.
Holy shit!
Oh, those were heavy.
As darkness comes for you all in these nightmares, you find yourself on a field of alabaster sand. You look to your left and right, your party surrounds you. And this field is so empty, nothing but white for miles around. The only thing that is odd is the void above you. Where once there would be glinting stars, there is nothing but a cruel, oppressive, and crushing darkness. Maxine and Merrick, where once you all had known slight fears, this is different. You had learned to hone your craft in battle, to bury your fear, to live in the moment and of the heat of battle. But here, even against this threat, you feel horror, cold, dark, and unending in the pit of your chest and stomach. For the first time in your life, you're frozen. You cannot move. You can only watch. Malcolm, this scene, this presence reminds you of things you've seen in your darkest and deepest rituals, and even dealing with demons, this scares you. Your blood runs cold as ice, as it seems to congeal in your veins almost, and trap it. This darkened presence feels familiar yet foreign, cruel yet kind. It calls to you and drives you away. Your soul yearns to be united, but it cries to be free. You're at war with yourself in the presence of this unending darkness that calls to the darkness in you. And Rando, all you can do is freeze in fear. Like the deer you'd once seen be mauled by a bear, you realize the difference in your strength in the face of this monstrosity. An eye opens in the sky, and then another, all smaller and infinite as they expand the vastness. Tendrils begin to seep from the heavens themselves, weaving their ways towards you. I need everyone to make a wisdom saving throw.
Oh boy.
And then post your results in the chat of the Roll20, please.
I'm sorry, what?
Make a wisdom saving throw. Post the results in the chat for Roll20.
Oh shit!
All right.
We lost the very last couple bits of what you just said. So.
Sorry.
Bunch of eyes in the sky.
Oh boy! Oh boy! I'm gonna die.
Oh, I did worse this time.
Hold on. That wasn't correct. Let me re-roll
I had
that.
to get a 20.
Okay.
There we go.
All right.
Because it wasn't a plus.
Oh, wisdom. Wait, I have possible pluses to this. Hold on.
I was going to quickly check my.
I mean,
to see if there's any.
I do, but
Okay, Bread, Hawk, and Malcolm
Okay, I have
are
a
there.
4.
Zach's there. Alex is there. Perfect. So you rolled a 4. Hawk rolled a 20
Yeah.
and a 22. Okay. If you had rolled between an 18 and a 24, you're fine. If you rolled between a 2 and an 11, you're fine.
what?
If you rolled a 12 or a 7, between a 12 and a 17, your eyes glaze over black as the crushing darkness consumes your mind.
What? Who is this happening to?
No one. I'm just telling you what it would have
Nobody.
been.
Oh, thank fucking God!
How did we all survive that?
Because I wanted you
what?
to, you silly.
Oh, duh.
But also, there was a spec on this. If you had rolled beneath that, like, it would have consumed you, and, like, you would have had to be pulled out. So, it's like them yanking you out of the Matrix, man. They gotta... Anyway.
No.
So lucky you all rolled within the confines, though. Anyway, as the tendrils begin to weave forth, a voice booms from the shadows itself, shaking the blood in your veins, the bones in your flesh, and the very alabaster sands until you can see each individual granule as it shakes. It calls out to you. You will be mine. Once I know all, it will be consumed. Bow before the maw.
No, me gusta.
As the tendrils weave closer and closer to you, you all are frozen in fear and panic. You cannot move. And then a flash of green golden light appears as before you stands an elven figure, his robes of gold, green, and purple, his hands slender and long, his skin kind of pale white and flecked with bits of green and brown, his long hair golden, his eyes his eyes, as he looks back at you, you notice they change color almost as quickly as as the tide changes its wake. He looks up at the imposing force and he goes, "You will not have their souls. They will do what I need them to." And his hands flicker with with rainbow-colored flames, and as he unites them, they make a cascading white streak of flame into the darkness itself. As it hits the flesh, a screech shakes the sand even more, and you feel sick and uneasy as it begins to vibrate within your very mind. And the tendrils recoil, the eyes begin to close, and with a flash of purple light, you are all back in the inn. Light kisses your faces as dawn is here. Around you, your sheets are soaked with sweat, cold sweat, sweat of fear. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the Maw.
I'm uncomfortable.
Dang it, I like my answer better.
My answer better. Damn.
Merrick is going to grab his sword and just sit down and meditate the fuck out of that.
Should I roll a con save quick?
I think Malcolm wakes up screaming.
I'm gonna go downstairs and get a
I
drink.
probably peed myself, I'm not gonna lie.
Merrick is sweating profusely. He's just going to try to meditate, but fail to do so. He's just too agitated.
And to answer your question, Zach, that I saw in the Discord chat, no, you're not fighting that. You're fighting that thing's father.
What?
The father of all the old gods, Maw, older
Hey,
and more
I was
ancient
pretty
than
close.
time itself.
Maw?
No, it's the Maw, literally meaning the mouth, the consumer.
Oh!
It
Anyways,
it exists to devour. It is hunger incarnate, fear in the deepest depths.
kinky.
So, level 2, we can fight that thing, right?
No!
We can totally take this thing on, guys. Come on.
Yeah, we got gusto.
So,
Yeah, I
We
can.
got the XP.
We just got a charm person.
so
Yeah.
on that note, Bibbidi.
Get the fuck out of that person.
All right.
Should I
Are you gonna try to fuck them all?
Of course.
Oh,
Okay.
On Trap your talker.
On that note, let's get down to business. To defeat the Huns, of course.
And they sent me these prissy pricks instead of some actual men.
So, my first question is, so Malcolm awoke in a scream, Rando pissed himself, Maxine is just shaking. Merrick can't meditate and trap it. I'm assuming you're very hastily and very shakily pouring yourself a glass of wine.
What's that?
I'm just saying, okay, you know that scene in Rick and Morty season 2 when Beth shoots that guy and she's like pouring wine, it's just shaking everywhere.
Oh yeah.
Is it like that right now?
It's more just him being very basically uncharacteristically quiet and going downstairs for a drink.
Okay, so you're the first one downstairs. That was going to be my
And
second
he left
question.
his coat upstairs.
So
He's carrying it draped over his arm.
you're carrying a draped over his arm?
Con save real quick.
For
Con
what?
check.
Oh yeah, for the hangover. Yeah. This is the worst day for you.
Would I have to roll
Potentially, we
too?
don't know that yet.
roll a con.
Okay, let me get my constitution.
Oh wait, no, you don't have to do that. I'm having. Oh wait, no, yeah,
I
you
don't
know.
even have con, so whatever my number is, I'm fucked.
Actually, yeah, Maxine, you have to roll one too. You're pretty hungover.
All right.
You
well,
were basically just as
You're,
bad.
you're rolling with disadvantage. You said you were sloshed.
Oh boy!
that's
Oh
fine.
boy! I got a 2.
So I rolled a 19 and an 18 plus
Lucky.
4.
So you're
22.
there's a throbbing in your head, but it's more of just what you've seen versus what you drink. As for Rando, you are horribly dehydrated. The light hurts, the sound is too much. It's quiet in the morning, but it just hurts.
Do I have any herbs for this?
You have to roll a nature check or a nature medicine check.
Yep. Okay.
That's a good question, boyo.
Oh no.
You're just like, my brain.
You said what kind of check is this?
Medicine. You have to figure out if you have herbs.
Thank God it's medicine. Thank God that's a 14.
All right. I mean, I could be a jerk and make you roll with disadvantage, but I'm not gonna do that. So.
I mean, that's what I'm doing because I would have the ailment of intoxicated. So.
I'm not gonna do it for Rando
because
his
rolls have been less than 10 this game. Just let me have this.
His medical knowledge is his herbal knowledge is very well. So you find.
I know, I'm just teasing.
You find let me think. Sour seagrass, which Port Bellows taught you how to pick. It's supposed to cure most forms of like not psychic ailment, but just like congestion of the mind is what he called it. So you kind of bite down on this herb, and it is sour, and it is just but as you chew down on it, like the pain in your head and like the ringing in your ears and the like cold clamminess of your body begin to kind of fade. It's still not a pleasant feeling, but it's a lot better than what you were like 5 seconds ago.
After Merrick
I mean, I did roll a 2.
After Merrick realizes that he can't really sit down and just breathe, he's going to just go door to door and just check on everyone.
All right.
I'm gonna
How's
clean
Rock?
myself up.
Hold on. Hawk, yes?
Since I went downstairs first, I'm just going ahead and preemptively order coffee for everybody.
That's a good call.
Yeah. And I had another question actually.
Okay, first, second question.
Is there any check I can make to see if, since Trap has been been alive for a long time, would he potentially have heard of or know or describe, given his history?
Describe what?
I mean, like, would he know any description or have any experience with what we saw in the dream?
No.
Okay.
In all your long years, you have never seen anything like this. It is... The sensation is the closest thing you felt. It feels like when you encountered the demon.
Gotcha.
But it's like what I said with Malcolm. It is so much worse. It's like encountering a demon or something touched by the Shadowfells or of darkened plains. But it just feels like a deeper, darker, more sickening entity than you could ever imagine. Like,
gotcha.
It's just horrifying, pretty much. And as you go down there and like start ordering coffee for everybody, the tender looks at you and goes, "Coffee? Whoa."
They don't have that in this. They don't have that in this region.
No. What is it?
Something strong and warm. It's made from grinding up these special little beans from down south.
Beans. He's just. It's just not clicking with this guy. You said strong and warm, and he literally makes you.
You have a stiff tea, perhaps.
I can do that. And he turns to the kitchen and he goes, "Gran!" And this old lady just, "What do you want?" He's just like, "He wants strong tea." And she's like, "For fuck's sake! Fine!" And she goes back in the kitchen. She's like, "Fucking customers!" By the way, that's like a preview of like 90-year-old Maxine.
Stop!
So,
if you live to be that long.
You know, your gran reminds me of someone.
Merrick's going door to door, checking on everyone, including Rook.
All right. I'm gonna have to think about the room arrangements. So I'm assuming. So you notice Trappet's doors open. So we'll say that he was at the end of the hall. You go down there first. You notice that he's left. You said your coat was on your shoulder.
Basically, kind of like draped through the crook of his arm. He's more or less just wearing his one of his shirts and his vest, but he's got the coat with him.
You notice that Trappet's room, which is normally when you guys are, like, when he wakes up, is actually rather immaculate. Things are put away and well pressed. It's just haphazard. Things are still where he left them last night. The bed is a mess. the coat rack where he normally like takes his coat off and then very like carefully brushes down the rack. It's just knocked over. Like it's just like it looks like he grabbed it in a hurry and booked it. So you go down to the next room and you open the door and there's Rando and he's just like lying and he's like as he's chewing on this thing. His room looks it's pretty well kept for an 11-year-old ish.
I was
A
unconscious.
59-year-old elf's room. Yeah, they just kind of chucked you in there. So it's basically how you left it last night when you chucked him in there.
You okay?
I've been better. Oh god.
And you just kind of you just kind of
Nice.
very carefully close the door.
Just give me like 2 minutes here. Please.
And you open, or you go to open Rook's door and it's locked.
What?
I knock. Does anyone answer?
You knock, and there's just silence.
Okay, Merrick is going to panic and kick the door in.
Yes.
Roll a d20.
Oh, there it goes. Okay, is this a strength check or what?
What'd you roll?
I rolled a 12 plus my strength mod.
Add
Is it-
strength and proficiency.
Oh, and proficiency. Okay.
This is a
12.
panic. This is a adrenaline kick, man. Like,
18.
yeah, the door's just.
What door?
The door snaps free. The lock and the bolting mechanism are still there, but you kicked the door clean of it. The hinges are now a little crooked. The room is immaculate. It looks as if there was no one staying there the previous night. The only thing you notice are his goggles of night on the desk table and a note.
I'm gonna go take a look at the note.
As you open the note, a small black stone falls out with a glowing purple rune and a blue rune, and where once there was a third rune, it is flickered off. You notice that the runes are exactly similar to the one on your remote control device. The note reads, "While I appreciate your attempts to rein in this unruly child, please next time try something a little more at my skill level. I apologize for removing him from his duty so soon, but I need him more than your Platinum Watch does. Simply put, I will be leaving you with a possession that I feel that he will not need where we are going, but that you might have more service of. We will cross paths again, and I pray that you never once again encounter the entity you encountered tonight. I apologize for my abrupt entrance, but I needed help, and I wasn't about to let my son die." And it just says, signed at the bottom, "Regards, Kalathon, father of the Red Dragonborn, or father of the Red Half-Dragon Rook, Dreamwalker of the multiverse." And it's like a nice flourish, too.
See,
Like
he's got a dad.
Well, someone needs to teach him his son's a piece of shit sometimes. Well,
there you go.
that fucking sucks. Merrick, go on. It's night vision goggles, right?
Pretty much, yeah.
Well, gonna have to tell this to Maxine. He's gonna go check on Malcolm and Maxine next.
All right. You open
Because Malcolm knows that Maxine has been trying to keep an eye on him. He fell asleep in the same room as her.
Oh, so he just started screaming?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and you just kind of were like, you both shot up at the same time, but he screamed, you just kind of were like, just kind of like muscle locked.
Maxine's just gonna wrap herself in her comforter and face away. And you can see where her shoulders would be. They're shaking.
I'm sorry about that. I had a really bad nightmare. And he
Me
just
too.
sort of like dies in his pillow, like dies in his fucking palms for a second.
I had a bad dream too.
Malcolm,
Yeah.
as you rest your hands in your palms, are your eyes open?
Yeah.
You notice that the entirety of your palms are in shades of gray, and you can make out each scratch and line across your hands.
What the fuck?
Oh.
As you blink and kind of like remove your hands in a little bit of shock, would you like to approach the mirror?
The mirror.
Oh, yes.
What?
Okay. I'm
Oh,
gonna get up
no.
and I'm gonna approach the mirror.
As you approach the mirror and kind of look in it, you notice that your eyes are a little bit brighter blue than they were before, and in your left eye there seems to be a rune. A glowing blue rune at the very back of your pupil, very hard to see
What?
unless you're looking for it.
What is?
What?
Are my eyes of the eagle in my eyes? Can I like activate my super duper like I see everything vision and look into my eye deeper?
I mean, for as far as you can tell, this rune is giving you the same enchantment as your eyes of the eagle. Or no, wait, no, because you have no, because it was the goggles of night that do that. So yeah, your eyes of the eagle. You look a little closer. Kind of putting one over the eye that's not the rune, and you look deep into it. It is very intricate spell work. You've never seen anything this fine. It seems like it flickers every now and then, but each little burst seems to disperse arcane energy in 1,000 different directions. This is a very advanced spellcraft.
Yeah, and it's right in my fucking eye.
Congratulations, you've been enchanted with dark vision, my dude.
Oh shit. There we go.
Merrick, would you like to flip over the letter?
Mayo kicks open this door too in a panic.
Malcolm's just like staring at himself in the mirror very intently, and Maxine's just like curled up in the corner.
Malcolm pokes himself in the eye.
Just, shit!
Knock next time.
Sorry, we can't have a jailbreak. Rook's gone.
Merrick?
Rook's
What's
gone?
that?
What?
Yeah, I hand Malcolm the note as he goes over to check on Maxine. You okay, Maxine?
Malcolm, you read over the note and it's the same thing that he said, but you notice like there's some more on the back. You flip it over and it says, P.S. And it says, I gave your wizard a little something special. Consider it a parting gift for taking care of my son for a year.
Well,
Aw.
shit.
When she hears it's Merrick, you're gonna notice the comforter start to wiggle, and a little green-haired face like sticks out from the comforter. Her eyes are like almost swollen shut from crying. I'm fine. I'm gonna
Good.
have to roll deception for that.
Yeah, please do.
Probably.
Roll
Not too
insight,
old.
Merrick.
Hell yeah.
It probably shouldn't be that high of a roll. Alright.
Would you like to roll with disadvantage, Maxine?
I mean, it's pretty obvious she's been fucking crying.
I know, but you're selling
Maybe
it that
she's
you're
just
trying
a really
to deceive
good
her.
liar.
Maybe. Okay, deception. Here I go. Okay, here we go. First one was a 15. Second one was an 11. I get a +4 on my,
So that's an
Deception,
11
so-
plus 4.
15.
Yeah.
15. Malcolm knows. Merrick, what'd you roll?
23.
Yeah, you both know. She's not fine, but you also both, from your insight rolls, know that Maxine's not the type that if you pry, she's gonna just close up harder, or she's gonna hit you.
I don't want to be hit.
I'm fine.
I know you are.
Hey,
I think we all had some nightmares.
you too?
Yeah.
Was it the big brainy thing with the tentacles and the out of body and
I guess.
That too.
oh my god, a
I just
wizard
do-
comes and he puts a bunch of magic stuff in my eye, and then I see like the maw. Oh no!
Wait.
Death.
Did I hear right in hearing that Rook's gone?
Yeah, apparently his dad came to get him.
Give me a note. Grab your hands. Little hand pops out. Little
Yeah,
hand
no,
pops out.
Malcolm hands you the note. Yeah, and he goes,
Hmm.
"Yeah, and his dad made my eyes all magic. I can see in the dark now."
Did you say his dad was a wizard?
No, his dad's a dragon, I think.
Yeah, I figured.
I mean, shit, he was half dragon. No dragonborn I've ever met was half dragon. That's just insane.
Yeah.
But
Well,
evidently it's true. His dad visited us in our dreams, and he walks the plains in his dreams.
what?
He must be a very powerful wizard, or spellcaster at the very least.
Just for clarification, because I realized I didn't clarify that well, his father is not a dragon. His father
No.
seduced the dragon. He's the wizard that seduced the dragon.
The wizard that
Oh!
seduced the dragon.
So-
All right.
This entire time, Rook is the child of Donkey and Dragon from Shrek.
Yep.
I mean, if Donkey was a planeswalking, astral
Wizard.
projecting wizard
If
of
he
supreme
basically was a
badassitude.
god.
If Donkey was Mordenkainen, then I mean,
Pretty much.
Guys, I'll be honest, I don't think my character can live up to that.
Well.
It's been nice, Avog. We're gonna get Kalathon now.
Okay, see you guys later.
Well, that sucks.
Yeah, on the plus side, he left us these goggles of night vision.
Ooh. No, I'm kidding. Maxine just looks at them.
You want them?
blankly. I mean,
Once I train a little longer with my blood hunter skills, my lycanthropy gives me dark vision.
you know, every time you tell me more about it, it gets cooler. Shmi, give me the goggles.
There you go. Merrick's gonna realize he forgot to bandage up his arm this morning, so all of his scars are just showing, including his bite mark.
Maxine ain't gonna say shit about that, but she saw that.
She like, it's like seeing your friend with their shirt off. She just looks down. She's like,
It's actually very much like that. Like, she averts her gaze.
She's just staring straight ahead, like her lips are pursed really tight. He's like, "What's going on?" He's like, "It's fine."
He hands her the goggles, realizes his arm. Oh, I'm gonna hide this. Be right back. And he just
Malcolm
leaves.
was sizing him up with like a side glance while they were busy talking to each other.
In Malcolm's
Like
mind, he's
Malcolm's
just like,
totally the
"That's a
kind of guy
beefy
that sits
boy."
there and looks at all his scars and is like, "Oh, I think mine are cooler."
He's like, "That's a beefy boy," but he doesn't have as edgy, cool as me.
Yeah. I bet half of those aren't even self-inflicted.
On that note,
Yeah,
while
you should definitely cover those up.
while you all are sorting yourselves out in the morning, trap it.
Yes.
A very large man in bone, metal, and leather just kind of kicks the door open and is just like, "Thatch!" And the barkeep's just like, "Oi, Joffrey." He's just like, and he just kind of, they clasp arms in a very loud way. And he's like, "How's it going?" He's like, it's going all right." And he's like, "Just here to see my my baby brother. Is he here?" And he's like, "Your brother's a baby." And he's like, "Better you not think about it, friend. I'll And he kind of like taps him on the shoulder. He's like, "I'll go get him." And he just like,
I think at that point, Malcolm.
and he just
walks
and you
out.
like as you guys are just like sitting
they
there.
walk into each other.
No, I was just gonna do this. Like as you guys are sitting there and like you're just kind of like sizing up your own scars. You hear from the bottom of the stairs, "Malcolm, get down here!"
Oh,
Oh
no.
shit! I'll be back.
Quiet down. One of us has a hangover.
Is Joffrey within earshot of me?
He's in.
It's a very. You're the only one in here. It's a very big man.
I'm just gonna lean over to him. Ah, so you're Malcolm's brother, eh?
He looks at you and he goes, "Yeah."
He might. I have just a hunch that he might have had a rough night. He may need some brotherly affection and confidence.
Gotcha. And he gives you a thumbs up. The minute you reach the bottom of the stairs, Malcolm, what would you like to say something, or at least try to say something?
Jeffrey, it's the ass crack of dawn. Why are you bugging me this early?
The minute you said brotherly love and compassion, the first thing Joffrey does when Malcolm says that, he floors you in the gut.
Oh my god!
And he picks you up and he goes, "We're going for a hike!" And he walks you out.
I just take a sip of my wine with my pinky extended.
Technically, shouldn't I go after him?
You can try!
I mean, I don't think he's gonna head for the hills.
I trust Joffrey, especially that he knows that Malcolm's part of Platinum Watch now. He'll probably return him.
So Joffrey
Not
walks
to
you kind of
mention-
to the edge of town where there's like the bridge and there's
Okay.
some hills. And he goes, "All right, Malcolm, we're gonna go for a 15-mile hike. You ready?"
Oh my god!
Jeffrey,
Well, this is
I've been in prison for a year. I'm really out of shape, and this is really early in the
And he just gets right in your ear and goes, "High knees!"
I think Malcolm starts like fucking like just groaning and suffering and doing this fucking exercise.
You're like doing high knees, running. He's like, "Faster!" And you're like, "Ugh."
Just
Brother,
the entire
no.
time on the struggle bus. The entire time.
when Maxine realizes that Joffrey showed up, didn't say hi to her, and fucking kidnapped Malcolm, she like started to get out of bed. She's gonna like start to settle down and be like, "Merrick, if you want, you can like sit on my bed
Yeah, sure.
if you want. I don't want to be alone right now."
Yeah, sure.
Trap it.
Yes.
At this point, Gran brings out your tea, and like it's shaking and just kind of sloshing around. She's not really. It's not that she's unsteady in her old age. It's that she really doesn't care.
Right.
And she sets it down in front of you and she goes, "Here's your fucking tea."
Oh my
Ah,
god.
thank you, madam. I'm sure it is every bit as exquisite as you are.
She extends her hand. "Payment first, then the flattery."
Oh, can't we have both? I say as I slide a coin to her.
And she takes the coin up and she kind of bites down on it and like sticks it right in her right in her shirt, and she's like, "All right, now you can tell me how beautiful I am, darling." And she kind of bats her eyes at you.
I love her!
How old is she and what race?
She is human and she is about 76.
Alright.
Hey.
Trapid just smiles and just like goes like he's toasting her with his wine glass, like, "Oh, if I was only 2 centuries younger. You'd be far too busy running India."
And she just looks at him and she goes, "Well, that's the worst flattery I've ever heard. She's like, why if I was 30 years younger, I would rock your world, elf boy."
Sorry, you cut out.
Yeah, you cut out. What did you
She
say?
said if I was 30 years younger, I'd destroy you, elf boy.
At that time, Rando's gonna start
dear.
walking
I
down.
would relish the challenge.
This is turning into something very twisted.
I cannot believe that you had put Maxine's future self in this game. And I cannot believe that Trapid is currently hitting on her. There are so many parts of this situation that are fucked.
Damn.
Oh, this is beautiful in the worst way.
Rando's coming downstairs, like coming over to where Hawk's character is at the moment.
You come downstairs and just notice, like, they're both grinning and, like, staring at each other with determination. And it feels like you've walked into something you shouldn't have, but at the same time, that tea smells really good.
I'm still chomping on those herbs too.
And the tea smells really good.
I'm just gonna like slowly just move over. Can I have some?
Yeah, you're not bad.
Smacking noises make it 10 times
And
worse.
she looks over at him and she goes, And she doesn't say anything. She just stares at him and kind of smirks a little.
I just lean over and whisper to her, "Oh, dearie, he's too unseasoned."
And she just, like, looks at you like, fucking really? And then she just looks back at him, and it's just like, she walks over and she, like, pulls out a little candy, and she hands it to you, and she goes, "Here you go, lad." And as you reach for that candy, she grabs your butt.
What?
I take it back. This character is nothing like Maxine.
I want to apologize for the entire audience. We blew out their headphones.
Worth it.
Worth it.
Madam, what is your name?
Well.
And she looks at you and she goes, "Gran de Vale, my friends call me Gran."
Gran, I think I'm in love.
Can I have
Anyway,
my
laddie,
tea?
how are you feeling this morning?
There you go. Gran de Vale.
I can't.
I feel like somebody just beat me with a mug.
Oh, we might need something a little stronger than tea. Gran. May I call you Gran?
And she looks at you, she's like, "You might."
Do you happen to have any raw eggs, tomato juice, vinegar, hot sauce, salt, ground black pepper, and Worcestershire sauce?
And she looks at you,
What?
and she goes, "Who the fuck do you think you're talking to?
What's hot sauce?
How, do you think..." And she looks at you, and she's like, "Honestly, do you know how many sailors come in here with their heads up their ass, just pounding and moaning? Of course I got hot sauce."
I think my dear boy here needs prairie oyster to start him in the morning.
And she like
What?
starts fixing up this concoction in the back.
Wait, what are you making me?
It's called a prairie oyster, lad. Trust me, you'll thank me later. Just
In
don't
the-
smell it when you drink it.
In the meantime, Malcolm, you've gotten to the extent of the exercises you can complete, and I'm assuming you've either collapsed or you're just like going so slow right now. And Joffrey's like, "Doesn't that just invigorate the blood?"
No, I feel deader than I did this morning.
And he goes, "Good!
Ah.
That's not emotional death, that's physical death."
Oh, it's gonna be both by the time we're done.
And I'm gonna quickly just move y'all's location real quick, because I
I mean,
realized you
hey.
did make that big
mean,
ol' run.
Now you're dead on the inside and the outside.
America's
Hey.
one
Let's
of
put you over here. So you all ran up to this cottage on the bluffs, and you kind of are overlooking the lake and the river. And it's a beautiful sight in the morning. Crystal clear waters, the sun rising over the trees, the smell of pine and oak leaf. It almost makes you forget what you saw that night. And it kind of eases your worries. He's like, "No matter what kind of trouble you're going through, you can always clear your head by not thinking. Just run forward. Enjoy the view. And kick some ass while you're at it. I mean, hey, life's life."
You know, you have such a great way of putting things sometimes. I ought to take your advice more often.
And he goes, 10 times better than Dad's.
Ain't that the truth? Jesus.
And he like pats you on the back, and he like reaches into his bag, and he pulls out a water skin. He's like, "You look like you need it."
He pulls out a what now?
A water skin.
Oh, damn. I think Malcolm like immediately takes it and he just starts chugging.
And Joffrey just kind of like sits back and enjoys the view with you while you're just slurping down this water. In the meantime, because we are on a bit of a time clock, I'll give Maxine and... Are Maxine and Merrick talking, or are you guys just like sitting in silence?
Maxine just like shimmies over, and this is the first physical contact of the game that isn't violence. She's just gonna put her head on his leg and like reach out to her bag, which is next to her bed, and she's gonna get out a letter. And she's gonna run her fingers over it and really mull over whether she should open it or not. Now. She really wants to. She's like playing with the seal.
Roll a will save.
So that's a 10.
You are weak. You need this letter.
Bites down on the edge of it, rips the freaking thing, and opens it. She doesn't even care if Merrick looks over her shoulder at this point. She just needs to read it.
You open it up, and it's the crudely drawn handwriting of your father. And it says, Dear Jim, I know you're going off to do good work, Cord's work. And you're serving your country and there's no better life, but just know that I'm always worrying, I'm always concerned, because as strong as you are, as headstrong as you are, you're my daughter first. I'll always remember your first steps, your first sword, your first time baking. And I will worry, because you are not, to me, Maxine the warrior, Maxine the mauler. You're my daughter. You are my gem. And your mother would be proud of you. If you ever need a place to come back to, you know our cottage in the Platinum City. And if you're gonna be going to the cottage in the mountains, you best not be taking your friends. I don't want to see no boys there.
What? You cut out when
Sorry.
you were starting to say cottage.
When you go to the cottage in the mountains, you best not be taking no boys there. I don't want to find any boys stuff there.
Awful.
And he's like, but just know you always have a place to come back to. A place to be safe. My gem. My Max. My soul. Signed dearly, Aiden Eileen. Your father. And then it says, hastily scribbled by it, in case you forgot.
Maxine's going to hug the letter to her, and for the first time in front of anyone, cry. She's not going to hide it. She's just going to hug the letter to her and just break down in tears. But they're not sad tears. They're just... She's tired. She's so tired.
On that note, everyone reconvenes at the inn, and you all drink the tea that Trappet has prepared for you. Rando, you drink that hangover cure, and you feel about $1 million better. You feel like $1 million better.
Is she gonna touch my butt again?
No. Hold on, I have to think about that.
Oh,
No.
God. More
She will
water,
not.
please.
Okay, good.
So you're all at the inn, and Joffrey is with you.
Oh.
I'm not actually that winded by that point.
and he looks you all over and he goes, so these are the crew. Fine bunch. He goes around, shakes hands, introduces himself. And he looks at Malcolm and he goes, honestly, I was considering coming along with y'all and lending a hand, but I think you're in good ones. You've got this, little brother. Besides, he's like, besides, and he like lifts up this giant bone greatsword and slams it on his shoulder. He's like, I got orcs to slay, and man, does it pay well.
Oh,
Really?
one of these days I'm going to beat your ass, and it's going to be so satisfying.
He
Maxine,
looks at you,
say that every time you see him.
and
I've only seen him this... Listen.
he looks at you, and he puts his hand up on the table and props it, and he goes, round one.
In front of people.
And he goes, why? Scared?
No.
Everyone
Two
get
gold
out!
on Max.
Everyone get out!
Malcolm like immediately jumps between the center of them and goes, "Oh, fight, 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 fight!"
Merrick puts 2 gold on the table. 2 gold on Max. Anyone taking in?
Did you just
I just throw in 10 gold.
Oh, I got 5 gold
don't I
on
see a money?
Joffrey.
Yeah, like there's like gold is like at this point like the few people that are in the tavern this morning are putting gold down until the pot's about 30 high, and Joffrey's like, "Oh come on, people are wanting a show. You think you got the stuff to keep up?"
Oh, let me tell you, if you fought me in the arena, I'd give you the most entertaining show of your entire life. People would be paying you to tell them. But I suppose is he laughing at her?
No, that was someone else.
Okay, I was like, what?
By the way, he is just challenging you to arm wrestle, so I'm gonna need a strength check if you want to bow in.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, she's so fucking ready for this. She's all about, the look on her face is almost deranged. In the sense that...
I'm also going to throw in.
So go to your skills. Wait, why are you on your character sheet? Oh yeah, 'cause you gotta just roll a d20 and add 4.
Okay, D20, add 4. Okay. Come
before
on, I
she
cannot
adds-
fuck this up. I need to kick his ass.
One sec before she does, I'm going to bet also.
Okay. How much are you adding into the 30 gold pot right now?
I drop in 20 gold. 20 on our dear commander.
50 gold. Let's do it, boy.
I'm so scared.
Malcolm casts minor illusion to create the figment of a red light, a yellow light, and a green light. And he says, all right, I want a good, clean arm wrestling competition. I want to see anybody's elbow come up off that table. I don't want to see your offhand come off the stump or the side of the table. You grip it
one
hard.
second, Brad.
I want to see some good, clean hand wrestling. All right.
Oh, trust me, it's gonna be the only clean thing about this.
Can you inspire
Okay,
yourself?
Brad, what did you roll?
Do you want me to say plus my modifier or just
Yes,
the number?
plus your modifier.
I rolled a 19 plus 4, so that's a 23.
Okay, let's find out what Joffrey rolls.
Oh, he's gonna fuck me up. I'm so scared.
That's a 14 plus 5.
It's 19. Damn it! I lost
Well,
10 gold!
He has the higher strength, so Joffrey wins. Yeah.
Does he?
Yeah, no. Whoever on a tie, whoever has the higher modifier is the one that beats.
It's not a tie.
Yeah,
It's
no,
not
it's
a tie.
a 14 plus 5.
Oh, I'm fucking retarded.
Yeah, we lost.
So
What?
so he holds his own with you for a good long while, and then he looks over at Malcolm, and he looks across the table, and Maxine, you feel his grip ease up, and you slam it down.
Did
Oh,
he?
that's nice.
You bet your ass he did.
Malcolm's laughing. He says, "Sorry, Maxine, but I knew he was gonna beat you."
You know he lost, right?
Yeah, no, he lost, but he didn't give it his all.
Oh, he didn't give it his all.
Basically,
No.
I'm like, you know he lost, right?
Oh, okay. I just misheard what Walker
You know
said.
what?
He doesn't say that.
Shit, I'm out 10 gold. Oh wait, sorry, he doesn't know that. Oh man, I'm out 10 gold. There we go. That's more him.
Yeah.
Huh.
And he looks at you and he goes,
Sorry.
and he looks at you and he goes, consider it a freebie. Next
You're
time.
fucking kidding me, right?
He's like, no. He's like, look, if I'm not there to kick his ass, someone's gotta be.
Yeah, and it's gonna be me.
Yeah. And he just kind of leans back. He's like,
Did
I got orcs to slay, so I'll have to catch you all later.
Oh, you have fun with that, Mr. Joffrey. Next time I see you, your ass is grass and I'm gonna mow it.
And he looks at you. He's like, oh, next. He looks at you and he
That's
goes,
actually good for nature.
he goes, oh, next time, it won't be something as simple as arm wrestling.
Oh, I certainly hope not.
Let's see.
But I'll be waiting.
On that
Are
note,
they gonna play tag?
on that note, I'm gonna take you down the road as you all kind of gather your things and hop back on your horses.
Before leaving, Merrick looks over in the distance towards that temple of Pelor and decides to not go just yet. He decides to go on his way back.
Would you like to take a visit to the Temple of Palor?
No, we got shit we gotta do.
Okay.
We got a player waiting.
All right. So I'm going to take y'all down the road. And as y'all are riding down the road, you're about maybe, we'll say, 14 hours into your ride. For the most part, you all ride in silence. You kind of, you know, the events of last night did shake each of you in your own way, and you all drank your tea, healed up a bit, but you decided it best to just kind of let Maxine's thing kind of clear the air and let y'all get back to business.
Who the hell does that? Whatever.
Oh yeah, guys. From that pirate cave, we got this luck stone that needs to be attuned. Gives you guys +1 on like saves. I got a slot open for attunement. You guys mind if I take it?
Yeah, go ahead.
Go for it.
Sure.
Cool.
Congratulations, you now have +1 on all ability checks.
Neat.
What?
Oh, ability checks?
Yeah,
I
no,
thought it was
saving
just-
saving throws is a cloak of protection or ring of protection.
Neat.
Cloak and ring give you a +1 to AC and a +1 to saving throws. Actually, let me look that up real quick. Good Luck Stone is what it's called. It's a 5e uncommon item. Also read, geez, really? Go write your fan fiction. Sorry, I just read the Discord stuff. There we go. Good Luck Stone 5e. Come on, Daddy needs a new pair of shoes. +1 bonus to ability checks and saving throws.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
So now you got them sweet, sweet bonuses, son. So
Still
as you
checks
all...
are ability checks, aren't they?
Real fast. While
Yes.
we're
Oh, yeah,
riding,
that's how you do that.
can I ask Malcolm something?
Yes.
Malcolm, do you still have that nifty little pin we found the other day?
The pin.
The pen of
What
illusory
pin?
script.
Oh, yeah, I have that pen.
Do you mind if, correct me if I'm wrong, the pin, basically the ink markings on it glow, right?
It writes in illusory script, so you can make the ink appear however you wish, whether it be invisible, if you want it to appear on fire. So if you want to, like, write on the side of a building, Malcolm was here, and then it just bursts into flames, you could do that.
Okay. Do you mind if I borrow it for the duration of the ride? I have a little side project I wish to work on.
That's just fine. I've got plenty of ink myself.
Thank you. While we were doing this, you know the fancy stones that I found in the cave
Mm-hmm.
that aren't really worth anything? I'm going to etch around them and make them look as if they might have mystical properties. Basically, I'm forging mystical stones.
Awesome. So as you all proceed up the highway, you find yourself at a small encampment. It's a very large and almost like Trappet-esque, gaudy and ostentatious cart. Just baubles hanging off, bright red, flowing, cloth and tassels. It looks like... It literally hurts your eyes to look at it a little bit.
Friends of yours?
I feel like I've owned this before.
As
There's not enough gold.
As you all approach, you notice at the
Wow,
encampment...
that's fancy.
You notice at the encampment there is a man just shuffling a deck of cards, and just kind of like
Forgot about this. Sorry.
flipping them over, and then he flips them over, looks at them briefly, then shuffles them back in the deck, and he keeps like moving it. Like his hands are like moving like a blur. And he looks up at you all and he goes, "Oh, hello! Greetings! Wonderful to see all of you. Hello, hello, hello." And he goes, "Fine lady, gentleman, not so gentleman." And he looks at Trevor and he's like, "Have we met before?"
You know, I've been thinking the exact same thing.
Carnival in Valasan?
Yes, I was a trapeze artist there.
Ah, wonderful! Fortune teller! Which reminds me, if you all are interested, I do provide divination services for a fee.
Divination magics, you say? What
Oh,
kind of
yes,
service?
of course. Well, just the usual, identifying the locations of things, and that's a little more pricey. Basic fortune telling, which, for you all, I can tell you're very arcane gifted folk, very wise folk, so I won't, play the dummy cards with you. And let me think. What else do I do? Are any of you interested in the signs, the astral signs, or perhaps what they mean to you?
I guess.
Perfect. I do that. Let's see.
I know of actual sign.
Tea leaf reading, crystal ball scrying. What else do
you have
I
a crystal ball
provide?
for scrying? You
Oh
said.
yes, of course.
I
Who
learned
doesn't?
how to use.
And he looks at you and he goes, "Oh, right. You don't."
Oh well, it's just that a proper functioning one is quite a rare thing indeed.
I mean, or you could just make it yourself.
Still, lad, what's the point?
If
what
you've
is
unlocked
the
the
point of
fifth seal of
trying?
magic, but not many wizards or sorcerers have achieved that height.
Got it from my grandfather, so.
Yeah,
I
it's
want
nice
my
when
fortune.
you're a rich kid and you get hand-me-downs, isn't it?
All right.
Not really
What's a
rich.
hand-me-down?
I'll
Air
hush now.
yourself, Malcolm.
Oh, hush now.
And he's like, I mean, I'm working at a carnival as telling fortunes to buffoons who wouldn't know the first thing about Arcana, so you tell me who's rich.
You got your beat there.
I mean, if you're playing your cards right, dearie, you're rich.
I'm rich in soul. And he begins shuffling the cards again. You notice, like, at first it was hard to make out his features because of the heavy, like, cloaks and clothes he was wearing. But you notice his hands are bright blue, his hair is kind of white and wispy. His skin is very bright blue in tone. And it seems as he shuffles the cards, small gusts of wind actually pop up as he's shuffling them.
Oh, that's cool.
What?
Whoa.
What the
So,
hell
does anyone
are
else
you?
want to get their full
Guys, look at that.
I'm game.
And he's like,
I
oh,
want to-
yes, where are my manners? I mean, we've met before, but that was a long time ago. I don't assume you to remember my name. So, who all would like their fortune told? By
Can I roll to see
Valis,
if I can guess his name?
by Valis Torn, master of the divination arts. And as he says this, he, like, with a gust of wind, his very, like, wide-brimmed, like, his very baggy sleeves shoot cards up into the air and then shuffle them around until they form a deck, and he brings them back down to his hands and clasps them closed.
Is he wearing a hood?
It flies off in the gust of wind, and you notice that his wispy hair seems to move almost as if wind itself. He is a air genasi.
Ah,
Oh, that's so cool.
neat.
I want my fortune told.
Yeah.
Yes.
I want. Am I told?
How much?
And he looks at Trappit before he looks back at you, and he's like, "How much do you have?"
Not enough.
and, it,
Your price.
and he chuckles, but he's like, "I kid, of course. I seriously, are you?" And he looks at Trappit, and he's like, "You were a trapeze artist. Have you not taught them comedy?"
Believe me, I've tried. It's sort of
I'm sorry, I have
it's
a
a
very.
lost cause with this lot, I'll be honest.
And he
I'll
keeps
be honest, I don't have a very normal sense of humor. That's on me.
like, as he's looking at
Yeah.
y'all, he's like actually like as he's looking at y'all, he's not breaking eye contact. He's shuffling his cards like almost flawlessly. He's just this is a trained act to him. He's just kind of like a little bored with the conversation. He's like, all right. We'll say this. For basic fortune telling, we'll do 10 gold apiece per person. It's not per card. I'm not a monster. Although I have heard of this amazing troll fortune teller. Great guy, kind of pissed off his family. Then again, and he raises his deck and he kind of shakes it. This is their deck of Arcana. And he flips it back into his sleeves.
Question: before we commit, can I detect if I feel any genuine magic coming from this?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, like, do I have to roll for that?
Roll for Arcana.
Okay.
Is he
Merit
genuine?
plus-
Does he use genuine magic, or is he,
21.
as Trappit says, an ass?
How much did you roll?
21.
Oh yeah, this is real.
He was
I
he was
lean over and
definitely
whisper to Maxine and Rando. I believe he's the real deal.
Malcolm butts in between the two of them and he shakes his head and he says, "No, that man, he's very likely an arcane trickster rogue. If I had to pin him down as anything, just because he can flip some cards, it's a very special type of somebody who learns to use magic but doesn't really It's complicated, you know,
Guys.
rogues, tricksters.
Malcolm, what is your
Guys,
sense of
guys,
romance
here.
and adventure?
It's not gonna hurt a kid. Let me go first.
I don't care either way. He can try to cast magic. I'll just crush his windpipe. And she says this like very bluntly.
And he's like,
I don't think he's a threat.
he just looks at Maxine. He's like, well, I appreciate that that's at the forefront of your thoughts. At least you're thinking about me.
Oh, it's a pleasure.
That's how she haggles.
So,
And he goes,
who's first?
I
It
mean,
means she cares.
he's like, I mean, for a lovely violent lady as yourself, I can discount to about 6 gold for a read.
Hmm?
He says, for a lovely, very violent lady as yourself, I can discount to 6 gold for a read.
You cut out again.
The same spot too. That's the best part.
6 gold
Okay.
Deal.
6 gold?
for Maxine.
Oh,
Well,
dang it!
Maxine,
mean-
don't piss your gold away on some trickster like that. He's not going to tell you anything you don't already know.
hey Malcolm,
Yeah.
when did I fucking ask you?
And he looks at and he's like fine. And he's like
And at that, she gives him a joking shoulder punch.
he looks at him. He's like, I see that, you know, of course, the werewolf over there and the blood mage are not impressed.
what
So
that?
perhaps I could
What's
do
your
a
language?
and he kind of like starts shuffling and he's like, so perhaps I could do a reading for free if that wasn't enough.
Deal.
Merrick gets very defensive.
You better
How
give that reading to Merrick,
Do
because
you
you just
know
are the-
that?
And he looks at him and he goes, I'm a divination wizard. It's part of my job.
Dude, this guy's good.
So
Merrick, do you...
and he says so and he
many
like
red flags for Malcolm.
he says
Malcolm is just not okay with this at all.
Wait. Guys, 1 sec. I want to try and talk to my my buddy.
Oh.
Oh no.
okay. As you kind of like grasp your ring and kind of move it a few times, Shadowin appears. He's like, what do you want, master?
Okay. Hear me out. My friends and I, we're debating if this guy's like the real deal, if he's just, you know, kind of like what's the term you get? What's the term you guys use?
Asshole.
Trickster.
Oh,
And he just
Trickster.
as they're all saying this, he just breathes into your ear. You're looking for charlatan. And he like, you see his eyes, like Shadowwind's eyes, like his traditionally white eyes, flicker blue for a moment as he stares at the Genasi. And then, as he's doing this, the Genasi looks at Rando and looks directly at Shadowin.
he can see him too.
And he kind of like, as he's shuffling his cards, like, it's very distinct, very brief, he waves. And Shadowin looks at you and he goes, it would be easier for me to say that the amount of talent I'd have to pull from him to fill the cup you lack would crack your vessel.
Oh.
Oh, that's cool. How
But
about
then again,
half?
you are a fucking level 6 character.
What about half?
And he goes, perhaps.
While he's having this...
And
while
you
he's having
you see like Shadowwind's like what would be his mouth part, and it looks like, you guys ever seen like a doll that someone like stitched a mouth on?
Yep.
It's like that, like it's glowing white in the middle, and there's like little black lines connecting it.
Okay.
It looks like a fucking scarecrow, basically.
Neat.
Merrick is going to take a deep breath. Okay. So about those fortunes.
And he
So
goes,
nice.
he goes. I mean, it wasn't hard. I mean, I read all of you while I was shuffling.
Puts
And like
a
as he
hand
says
on-
that, as he says he read all of you while he was shuffling, he flicks the deck into his right sleeve, flicks his left sleeve, and out pops the moon.
Oh,
And he sets it down on the table. And he
Maxine's
begins
just
shuffling
going to
again.
passionately
And he
put her
flicks
hand
one
on
more
his
down.
shoulder.
The altar of blood. Shuffles it again. Flips one more down. The Redeemer. Shuffles it one last time. The last card he flicks down is Service. He sets his deck down. And he goes, the moon. You are strongest underneath its gaze, and its darkened radiance gives you renewed strength and a bestial ferocity. Hence, either werewolf, vampire, or, of course, other version of lycanthrope or night-dwelling creature, but how well bandaged your arm is leads me to believe werewolf. After all, I'm not a psychic divination wizard. You see the problem here. And he goes, the blood altar. It leads me to believe that your power, in fact, draws from darkness and the primordial arcane, hence blood magic. Granted, it was a hard read for you, since I kept getting other reads from others. But since blood altar popped up enough, I figured it was either you or someone else, and then it was just a matter of narrowing it down to the wizard over there. And he goes, the Redeemer. Palor symbol. Quite an odd card you've got there. But it means that in your destiny you will have a chance to redeem yourself. I wouldn't say purge yourself of your curse, that's a little presumptuous. But suffice it to say, you will get your chance soon. And last but not least, service. You are sworn to it, as it is sworn to you. Bravery, valor, the fight, the good fight, war itself. You are as intertwined with it as it is with you. Wield it well. And he shuffles the deck back together.
Okay, this guy's legit.
Told you guys this guy was good.
Me next.
Alright,
What?
Maxine?
I wanted to go.
Sucks to suck.
Ladies first, lad.
And he begins
Malcolm
shuffling.
sighs and plays with his wizard's spellbook. He's
And
like lost all interest, gone.
He begins shuffling them as she sits down. He's like, I will need that 6 gold. The first one's free, but, after all.
Maxine's just gonna put down the 6 gold.
He flicks his wrist and it swoops into his coin purse. Begins shuffling his cards.
Really.
He
It's
sets the
whatever.
first one down. He goes, the first card he lays down is Might. He begins shuffling again. The second card, the Divines.
Mm-hmm.
Begins shuffling one more time. A Champion. And he shuffles one last time. Betrayal. He looks at her and goes, Might. Well, that wasn't hard. You are rather beefy compared to your compatriots.
Thanks.
He kind of like smiles as best he can. He goes,
No, that's a good thing for me.
the Divines. You are in service to a god, and divine energy flows through you. Pretty
Yep.
self-explanatory. So, although,
A really cool god. You pray to Cord? I'm kidding.
and he's just like, Timora. Thanks for trying. And he goes, the Champion. You are very competitive. You like to fight. You like to be the best. You like to win.
Oh,
And often
doesn't
it
ever
blinds you
Mm.
to the greater things at hand.
I personally disagree with that, but
Well, the cards
probably
don't.
true.
It's like, well, the cards don't lie. So, I might. Cards won't. And he goes, last and not least. And he looks over the betrayal card and he kind of grimaces a bit. And he goes, betrayal. Someone very close to you has hurt you some way in the past. And it has left its scar. So, betrayal often comes rather frequently to you. I would say keep on your guard, but you seem to be doing a very good job of it. I would just say that when it comes to betrayal, it's best not to caution paranoia, but rather to encourage bringing those you value closer. Because betrayal comes from 3 root sources: greed, fear, and lust for power. And he shuffles the deck back of the card and he's like, so, kindness usually works. If that doesn't work, compassion. If that doesn't work,
I will pay you And
Punch
it's
in the face.
2 gold to shut up.
2 gold, please.
She puts down the 2 gold.
He whips it into his coin pouch.
Her
Maxine,
jaw
has anybody
is
ever told
tight.
you you're irresponsible with your money?
My
Has
turn.
anyone ever told you to shut the fuck up?
My turn.
She's gonna push, like, get up from the table, but she's gonna kind of push it away, and she's gonna just move to the back of the group with her arms crossed.
He uses, he flicks his wrist and the wind kind of moves the table back into place. As you sit down, Rando, he looks at you and, like, as he's shuffling the cards, like, he's having a bit of a hard time. Like, he shuffles them and, like, he grabs a card and then he puts it back. And he keeps shuffling it. And he's just looking you over.
Can't read me, can ya?
And he goes, not that I
Child, your
can't.
book.
It's not that I can't. It's that I'm considering whether I should.
Oh, come on,
Well, you
give it to
had-
the other two. That's not fair.
Yeah, you had no prudence telling us what we already know.
And he's
You
like,
can't shout it out that I'm a werewolf.
and he's kind of thinking for a minute, and he goes, all right, I think I can do this. And he extends his hand for 10 gold.
Deal.
And he takes the gold and he puts it down, and he sets down the first card. Loss.
Oh.
Sets down the second card. Betrayal. Sets down the third card. Sorrow. And he shuffles it one last time. He sets down the final card. Hope.
Oh, God.
And he goes, loss. You have lost a lot. Your father and your... Well, not your homeland yet, but... Just, keep an eye on that, would you? And he goes, betrayal. You have been lied to and betrayed since you've left those woods. People getting you to do stuff for them and not giving you payment. People taking your money under good pretenses. But to be fair, you are a very pure soul. Of course, I'd say the biggest lie comes from those near you. And he looks at the last one. Sorrow. You will find out a truth that will rock you to your core and tear you up more than you could even know. And like as he says this, like with a sad look on his face, he immediately flicks over to the last card. But there's hope. While you have been lied to by those around you, this group, I feel, will break that tradition. So, have faith. Have hope. Things will get better, young Rando. Your life is just starting, and it will be an adventurous one. And he flicks the cards back into his coat, and he goes, cheer up. Have a candy.
Last time I did this,
Someone grabbed your butt.
yeah.
Take the candy.
He's gonna slowly reach up for the candy.
He just completely hands the candy to you and lets it go. He's not looking to do anything weird.
He's gonna do like a little bow. Thank you.
You're welcome. Enjoy your candy.
Hey.
Alright. Well,
He's gonna head back towards the group.
Alright. Did you have fun, boy?
Yeah. That was awesome.
Well, I
Valid.
suppose it's my turn.
I mean,
next.
sad, but awesome.
Oh, Trap It wants a read.
Trappets wanted something a little different.
Interesting. What
So-
services can I provide to you, old friend?
Well, so you mentioned earlier that you can look in on others or other thing, correct?
I can.
There's a certain someone I wish to... It's more... How should I put this? I'd like to confirm an existence and location, I suppose. You know how it is when you live so long, you lose track of friends.
And he kind of looks at you, and his gaze darkens a bit, and he goes, because while we did share a fleeting companionship at the carnival, I will say this to you. The question you are asking me is not a good one. If you want the answer to that, you will not like what you find.
Well, sometimes we just don't like the truth. I'd look at the rest of you. Could you give us a minute?
And as they kind of look a little confused, it's up to them if they back off.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Whatever.
Merrick's gonna stay in earshot. I mean, he has good hearing.
Okay. Malcolm?
Huh?
Okay,
He
so
like
he's
looks up from his spell book. He was just completely and totally like zoned out,
all right,
studying his
so
spells.
trap it. He actually pulls you further away over by the fire over here. So I'm gonna pop you over there.
No, sorry, you cut out again. He said you said he pulled trap it further and then it cut
Over
out.
by the fire pit is where he
Okay.
pulled you. So he sits you down, and he's moved his table with him, and he sets the crystal ball down, and he goes, so, and he shuffles the cards, and he flicks one out from his wrist, and it lands the lover, and he goes, you're looking for her, eh?
Indeed. And then I mentioned, I speak to him in Elven. Do you know Elven?
And he responds back, who do you think you're talking to? I read fortunes for all different races. I gotta learn a lot of languages.
Shall we continue this in my mother tongue?
Easy enough. And he goes, so, and he flicks the card back in, and he's like, confirm life and location, yes?
Yes, I've had a experience recently that made me curious.
Very well. He begins to scry through the orb. And you see it. The scenery first displays your location, and then it whizzes out for miles and miles and miles. But then it stops. And you see a single figure in common gray robes, tinged with light blue fringe, a bit of gold. Their hair stark white, their skin just as youthful as the day you saw them. And as they look around, you see them look directly at the orb. Their golden eye flashes, and the scrying orb goes black before cracking down the middle. And he just looks at it and he goes, and then, like, as it cracks, there's like a small blowback of arcane energy, and he kind of tumbles back, and his robes like catch on fire briefly, and just wind woofs them out, and he goes, he looks at you and he goes, as far as I'm concerned, our debt is cleared, and now you owe me.
Indeed, I shall help pay for that.
And he looks at you and he goes, are you satisfied with your answer now?
It's better to know than to not know, I suppose. I thank you.
Very well. And he goes, now, my camp is free to you all for the night. I realize you will have to get a bit of rest before you get to the Boneyard, of course.
Alright.
Maybe
I don't
shuffling.
like how much this guy knows about our plans.
And he looks at you and he goes, And he points over, like, he doesn't even refer to the cards. He just points, and there's a road sign. He goes, "This is the only road that goes there. Don't need cards for that."
Why are you
I
such
trust
a-
him. I trust him. I mean,
I think you could trust a leather shoe. Shut the fuck up.
Malcolm.
What the
Malcolm sighs deep and he says,
Oh,
"Ah,
God.
that's what I get for not knowing the area." Damn.
Either way, it's not exactly a secret what we're doing.
Yeah, well,
we
we
get
don't need to
settled-
broadcast it to everybody, lest
Of course not.
our, you know. Our
All
friends
right.
find out.
Before we get
On
settling,
that note, because we've got maybe 2 hours left, and I really want to introduce Red's character,
Yeah.
because he's been quiet for too long, and we need to get him in here.
I need a buck in my life.
I'm going to take y'all over to the Boneyard.
Woo!
The bone zone. Yeah, baby.
can we take like a 5-minute bathroom break?
Yeah, can we break for 5 real quick?
Yeah, we can
before-
break for 5 real quick. I'm going to get my notes and
Thank you.
get everything
Oh,
together.
I'll be
right.
right back.
We will be right back in 5. I'll stay here. I mean, I got to do some things anyway in the room, so...
Oh man, time to smoke a cig.
Ow.
No, you're not
got
allowed
some
to.
ciggies for me.
Smoking is bad for you.
I will
Yes,
kick
it is.
your
Give your
ass.
hand.
Introducing Vape Nation.
John, you know.
On that note, I'm getting food.
I'm
Brad,
gonna.
I know you're personally gonna come over here and kick my ass. It's fine.
Yeah, I'm not as
Do it.
strong as Maxine, but I have the will.
No, I know.
That's even more dangerous.
Walker, that was amazing
Find a
so
way.
far.
I'll be right back.
I'm gonna be right back.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll be right back too, guys.
Dude, that was awesome. Dream, the fortune teller, that's really awesome.
Bathroom break. Alright, probably should mute myself.
Well, they're all gone, chat. It's just me. I'll also be leaving. Be right back.
Alright, I'm back. Well, I think the session's been going fun so far. What do y'all think in the audience there? I realize I can't really check that right now. Oh wait, yes I can. Let's go to the stream chat. Real quick. Apologies. Gonna mute that super fast.
I'm back.
Okie doke.
Oh, that was fun.
Man, no activity in the chat. That's fine, cause I am having fun.
Yeah, me too.
I am having so much fun. Ah.
One thing I meant to ask though before we had gone to the Boneyard, I guess I'll just do while we're on break.
Yes.
The distance, like how far was she from where we're at?
It was brief. So he can tell you that she's on the same continent. That's
Okay.
about all he can convey. It was very brief. He couldn't get a really good read.
Gotcha.
He just kind of saw her for a brief moment before she broke his shit.
Yeah, and now we owe him one seeing orb.
One scrying orb, yeah.
What do you mean, we?
Yeah, it's more you, but
Ah, but you're the quartermaster. Aren't you in charge of the coin purse for the needed expenditures for our mission?
I'm in charge of the party funds. That shit's coming out of your podcast.
this has been an amazing session, my dudes.
Yo, I've just been sitting back watching all this, like, yo!
Yo!
but now you guys finally know a little bit about Trappit.
Oh yeah.
Not much, but you're learning.
And you know a bit about. I think with the dream sequence, you all know a little bit too much about each other.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I was gonna ask Valium like what town he was heading to next.
Oh,
if he happens
Valis?
to go- What?
Valis?
Yeah.
He doesn't really specify a town. He just kind of gives a very vague answer, like, I go wherever the road takes me.
Like before they separate, Merrick would just like to say, if you're ever in the Platinum City, it'd be nice to know. I'd love to see this. Have a few more questions answered.
Yeah, he lets you know that he goes there from time to time, but his next destination is High Rock.
Oh.
So, question: what's the audience think of our characters?
Nothing so far, because the chat is empty.
Oh, that sucks.
I've put it on my Discord too. I think it's just like so many people are streaming tonight. It might be.
Yeah, it's so many people are streaming tonight, and it's also a little late.
Oh,
Yeah,
we
it's
have a
no
comment
biggie.
from Red Beast.
Red, don't be watching that stream now. You gotta
Yeah,
be
you're
paying.
great.
Oh,
But he's
thank
the
you.
audience.
Normally, I send out.
I literally just opened it just so I can make that comment.
Okay, good. Because my rule on the
No,
watching the stream.
I sent the rule. Don't worry.
Good. Good.
I'm a good boy. I follow the rules.
He's a good boy.
So is Rando.
Okay, so who all
Yeah,
is everybody back?
Yeah,
I think so.
it looks like all of us are back.
All right, sounds like it. So let's resume. So as Valis heads off in the morning and you all continue your destination, I realize I did not put you all on the map. My mistake. I apologize, my dudes.
How dare you?
There we go. Let's get y'all in here. Put y'all in that nice little town square. So you arrive in the Boneyard, which, despite its name, is actually rather idyllic. Kind of old cottages and thatched roofs. Some are tiled. Large walls that kind of weave and snake through the countryside. Towers going high into the sky with nice pennant flags flying of the colors and mark of the local Lord Sharamla. Other than that, it just seems... It strikes you as odd that a place that has been, reported to having such necromantic rituals and such dark arcane, as well as its history for being the world's largest mass grave, it's surprising to see it just be so calm, so peaceful, so unsettling.
This is boring. I want to fight something.
You
Maxine.
know, folks, I feel like I could vacation here.
Maxine, can you do some paladin shit and see if you can sense undead or something? If we can find those necromancers.
Can I
I was
also
gonna say,
check
can't
for,
I do something like that?
Can I also check for arcane presence or energy around here?
Malcolm,
Well-
I think this is a good time to pitch your plan.
Well, Malcolm pulls Merrick and Maxine aside, and he says, "Look, if we're looking for a cult in a sleepy little town like this, we're gonna not get very far knocking on doors and asking people, because I get the feeling that it might be the entire town if it's this idyllic and there's that much going on. So what I propose we do is I bought those 4 scrolls of detect magic. I don't know if Trappit already knows that spell. If he does, he can cast it as a ritual. He won't need to waste any of his spell slots. Otherwise, I can loan him these scrolls. He'll be able to cast it. And we should split up into 2 teams. 2 people go with him, 2 people go with me. We search up and down the roads and we communicate over the ring radio. And the second any of us pick something up, we go ahead and investigate. I don't know what our jurisdiction is like with unwarranted search and seizure, but that was what I thought the MO was going to be.
I mean, would we know if that's against Platinum Watch's rules?
You and Merrick would.
Is it?
Unwanted search and seizure?
Like, in a situation where it can't be avoided?
I mean,
Technically speaking, you all are not supposed to act without cause, but because the necromantic ritual is as big of a threat as it is, considering the location and the underlying circumstances, you can always call in and ask.
I mean, I won't tell
That's right.
Platinum Watch if you don't.
No, I'm just saying, you can call in with Gareth and confirm.
No, I know.
She's like, no, I know. I'm not going to do that, though.
Given the situation, I think it's warranted.
You're just like, nah.
Ooh,
If it's
Merrick
harassed-
turning to the bad side.
Here's the thing: if the Tarrasque wakes, I'm just being practical. If a Tarrasque wakes up, this entire continent's fucked.
Mm-hmm. It's not. Alright. Okay.
What's the point of having a code of ethics if you can't hide behind it?
There you go.
Alright, so you all decided to go around using detect magic, and
Did the rest of us hear that? Because it was just the.
yeah, I mean, it was. I don't feel like it was an aside. I feel like it was a party.
I mean,
gathering.
I only know the laws of the forest, so.
Don't you worry your little
The
head
law-
about it.
The wolf that should keep it may prosper, the wolf that should
I've
keep it
never
may
felt
die.
much cause to follow the law anyway, so I'm fine.
Neutral good, not lawful good.
So
I have wiggle room.
to answer the question, so Maxine, you actually have an ability called Divine Sense, which you can use to detect
Oh, I
evil
do?
and abhorrent things. Yes.
You're a paladin. You can just feel these
Well,
things.
this is my first paladin. Be nice.
Okay, fair.
So
To be fair, the paladin's ability to be an echolocator for undead is severely nerfed in this edition because they can only do it a certain amount of times per day and for a very limited duration. And
Well,
with
I mean, it
very limited
depends on,
ranges,
like,
I think.
What walk?
let me check the
willing
range on that real quick. Actually,
It might be a good.
I think it's like 60 feet. So my
Anything-
point is like we probably want to hold off on Maxine using that unless we've already detected magic in a building and we think it's sketchy.
Fair.
actually, she's got a use of 5 per long rest.
Of how many per long rest?
5.
Ah.
And it's
Still.
anything within 60 feet. Yes. So,
I mean,
however, I will say
I guess it's fine.
I will say this about both goals. Hers would be better suited for detecting where they are when they're not active. However, with detect magic, unless their rituals are active at this time, you're not going to find anything.
What if we just
you can
investigate
find-
the
Well,
town?
well, wouldn't we find things that naturally have magic emanating from them, such as spell books or
You can you can find
ritualistic
things that are
magic weapons and
passive.
you know.
Yes.
yeah, but how many wizards are in this town?
enough to start a cult.
Yeah, but what if they're not?
Enough to probably start a war?
I wasn't saying that in character.
Let's just say
Although
that.
probably.
Let's just say that residually, it wouldn't hurt to use them. However, given the circumstances, I'd say you're going to have to want to be really careful with your accusations.
I mean, if Maxine has 5 uses, we might as well try all of them, and not all 5 at once, obviously.
Of course.
Cast out a net, see what works.
I think
Yeah.
I kind of like Malcolm's idea. Like, save it for where you guys get to a higher concentration of items.
We already get a ping on something, yeah.
So if you guys find a high concentration of items, go over there, Divine Sense it. If it doesn't feel, sickening or
sure.
dreadly.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Whatever. I don't.
I will say this then. Because you are, boom, using your detect magic. Are you using it at the 4 corners of the town, and what's the range on that?
At the 4 corners of the city.
Of this specific part of the city. The city itself, like the province of the Boneyard, goes from this city over here, way off in the distance, the castled one on the lake, to this small little farming cottage, all the walls, and this large little idyllic area that you're in now. You're in the town, like, proper. That's, like, the rich district over there with the castle.
So we've
shit.
got like pretty much an entire countryside to search for these cultists.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
boy.
Okay, that changes things quite drastically. So
Alright, let's split up, gang.
I am not Scooby.
Riggy?
No, it's okay, I'll just summon Robert again. He'll be my Scooby.
I will say this. You are free to ask a few people, like, just threatening questions. Like, don't go up to them and be like, "Where's the cultists? Where's Rachel?" Just be like,
Where are the drugs?
yeah, just be like, what's the sites around here? Are there any places?
Well, I know.
Oh my god.
Since I have probably one of the higher charismas, can I head to like a marketplace and just poke around for information?
Yes. You head to the local town marketplace, which is right over here. Let me ping that for you real quick. Boom.
I just
It
realized
is.
I have no-
It is right over by the Temple of Soon, the goddess of love and beauty.
Who wants to be part of Trappet's team, and who wants to be part of mine?
I'll go with you.
I didn't know we were necessarily splitting up, but okay.
I mean,
Milk will go
we
with,
kind of made the joke, but now I think it's happening now.
Well, yeah, no, it was part of Malcolm's plan.
I will say
Yeah.
this: this is a good place for Trappet. The goddess Soon. This wishing fountain over here is visited by a lot
Sorry,
of.
you cut again after goddess.
The goddess Soon is a god of love and beauty. This fountain here is where people come to declare their love, flip coins, etc. So this would be a great market
Oof.
for Trappet, pretty much, with his
Yeah, I'm not going there.
speech.
I
If
guess
no one else is going with Trappet, I suppose I will.
I'll go with Trappet. You keep an eye on.
I'll go with Malcolm.
All right, sounds good.
Malcolm, will you give me one or two of those?
Maxine looks between the two groups.
Max goes.
Malcolm,
I'll
Yeah.
keep the squishy elf safe.
you know I'm loosening your leash a little bit by letting you do this, right?
Yeah, well, your trust is well put in me.
Okay.
All right. And she's gonna go with Merrick and Trappet.
All right.
Oh, we get a boys' night.
Oh, Malcolm, can I get one of the Tech Magic Scrolls just in case?
I'm handing you all 4 of them since you don't know the spell, since you're gonna need it to cast it.
I
Okay.
didn't know if you knew it as well or not.
Yeah.
So my first question is: would you like to cast detect magic at your current location, or do you want to ask
Yeah,
questions
when we
first?
get into I'll do Detect Magic. One of them.
Okay. Let's see. Temple of Soon. Yeah. Okay. You notice 3 areas of magic concentration just around here. What's the radius on that again? I asked earlier, but no one answered.
Detect magic radius is 30 feet, so he's got to get really close to everything.
Oh, then in that case you detect one thing, and it's rather faint.
Where would that be at?
You detect it over here.
Okay.
This collection of buildings.
The spell lasts for 10 minutes, so as long as he really hugs the buildings, he can peek into
I'm
them.
just gonna walk around the perimeter of this marketplace fountain area, just kind of getting a lay of the land.
All right. The specific shop you are walking around is referred to as the Paladin's Provisions. It seems to be a place to buy holy symbols and charms of magical importance, as well as armor that is thick and heavy.
Yeah, I've got all my cord merch.
I bought my cord tea set recently.
What are the other shops in the area?
There seem to be small stands for selling vegetables and stuff like that. You see the most there is apothecary supplies. A lot of people are selling mushrooms, herbs, kind of rotten root.
Gotcha.
It seems like this town, because it's a grave site, is thick with alchemic supplies that can be pulled from fresh graves or old ones, as well as the surrounding countryside. So it seems to be their main export.
Is there any Zydrate? No, that's a shitty joke. Sorry. I'm sorry.
With the paladin much, is there any symbols of Pelor?
You're free to go in and ask.
Merrick's gonna go in and ask specifically for a medallion of Pelor.
As you enter the shop and the bell kind of rings a little bit, you're greeted by a warm-looking face, kind of a chubby dude in some monk's robes, and he goes, hello and welcome to Paladin's Provisions, the one-stop shop for all your holy needs, for protections against evil, wards against the unclean, and all your disease-ridden needs. We can help you. And if you're looking for a little extra armor, and he thunks this breastplate behind him, I see that you're a warrior. This could be of assistance to you.
No thanks, I'm good with my armor.
Do you have any symbols of Pelor?
Palor.
Why Palor?
Ah! I believe I have
Oh.
one in stock.
Wait.
Champion of the Sun, right?
Yes. You good eye. And as he says he has
God.
one in stock, he kind of is like, come, follow me.
Merrick, can I insight check this guy real fast?
Absolutely you can.
I do one as well.
Okay, plus
It's
my
insight,
insight, where is that? Oh, cool, that's actually not that bad. 15.
Yeah, I got 15 also.
Yeah, he's legit.
Okay, just someone asking me to go in the back room. Yeah, Merrick's gonna go with him.
Maxine's just gonna look at all the other god merch, like, psh.
As you go back there, he rummages through a few drawers in the back until he pulls one out and he goes, ah, yes, here we are. And he pulls it out very gingerly and very respectfully. And he hands it to you. Like, almost as if he's, like, passing off a torch. And as you take it from him, he goes, may the sunburst path light your way.
Merrick's,
And he bows very respectfully.
I'm not a paladin.
It doesn't matter. All who seek guidance are welcome.
It's on a chain?
It's on like kind of a leather cord. You can put it on a chain if you'd like.
Okay, Merrick's just gonna like find like some string or rope and just sort of tie around his wrist.
Okay.
The one with the bandages on it.
All right. As you lash it to that and kind of actually, I'll say you interweave it with your bandages.
So
Kind of
what?
like interweave it with your bandages, kind of like how samurai like fix little things to the hilts of their swords.
Yeah.
That's how you do it.
Maxine's gonna walk up to the counter,
All right, because you're
And-
with them. I forgot you didn't move your
Yeah.
character. Boop.
and she's not gonna say anything, but she's gonna look at him and see if he can recognize her. She's a kind of well-known paladin.
And he looks at you and he goes, ah, well met. That's all he says.
Huh.
I also approach the counter.
And he looks at you and he goes, ah, well met.
Hello,
How may I be of
friend.
assistance?
Ah, yes, we're new to the area. We're on a pilgrimage of sorts.
Ah, pilgrimage. Wonderful.
Yes. I was wondering, do you have any health items, perhaps, or something that we could use to help set the spirits of our loved ones to rest? It's a personal journey, if you understand my meaning.
Ah, you look to set a spirit at ease, to send them
Indeed.
off to the ethereal.
Indeed.
I do not have anything like that here, but I do know of a place you can acquire it.
Oh?
And he refers you, he's like, the best place to go would be the Temple of the Raven Queen. In the Spine District. It is the... And he points to the castle walls, like, up on the hill. He goes, it is where our great lord and protector, Lord Sharemla, lives. And the temple of the mighty paladin who forged this town is there. That is where you will find items to set the souls at rest. For death is not meant to be a painful thing, but a simple ease of soul to the next plane.
Indeed.
It's only painful if you do it right.
And he looks at you and he goes, ah, now I recognize you. Cord, yes?
Yep.
And he smiles and he goes, I wish to advise you that your God truly does love you. But acts of violence are not what pleases him. It is acts of courage and victory.
I purge with my violence.
Walking
Consider it a...
walking the two hand in hand is a good path, but do not let wrath blind you. You seem to be such a pure soul and honest. and I value that in a paladin. Please.
I'm working on it.
Be careful. And with that, he reaches under the counter and actually hands you this leather-wrapped object. and he hands it to you and he goes, "Open it if you need it, but I don't think you will. Your strength is truly formidable."
I'm flattered.
how much was that pendant of Pelor?
And he looks over at you and he goes, "For you, my son, no charge."
Merrick tries to hide the smile, but he nods. Thank you.
Quick question. Can I roll to make sure I don't detect any ill will from him?
Yeah, you can roll that.
Well, I mean, didn't we do that with our insight check earlier?
Yeah, the insight check. I said he was straightforward
Okay.
with you guys.
Okay, never mind then.
Now,
I was gonna do like maybe perception or something.
did he confirm like that he's a like he said something about pure souls? As someone who also appreciates pure souls, I imagine
He hasn't said anything about being a
Okay.
paladin. Whatever your perceptions are your perceptions.
All right. As someone who also appreciates a pure soul, I imagine you'll be a bit forthright with me and my companions. How long have you stayed here in this place?
I must confess my move here is actually a rather recent one. I've been here for maybe 5 years. Not a
Alright.
long amount of time, but it has seemed this place, despite its history of violence and bloodshed, is one of peace, one of recuperation.
That's
The-
fantastic.
The darkness here was purged long ago, but it seems to be stirring yet again, and that concerns me. But
Oh, you know about those dark forces. They will continue to stir until put to rest.
and he goes, I have no concern of it. I have put my faith in a higher being, and he will deliver us from all of this.
I'm sure. If we were to go ask someone, who do you think would know this city best? Who do you think maybe is the storyteller of this city?
Ah, the storyteller you seek. Very
The
well.
person who knows it like their back of their hand.
You seek Ezra of the Temple of Ogma.
What's he look like?
He looks at you and he kind of smiles. He's like, "Believe me, you'll know him when you see him."
Did either of you write that down? Because I'm not going to remember that shit.
What was that name again?
Ezra. Ezra.
Thank you.
Cool.
And he usually operates out of the Temple of Ogma, which is the god of knowledge.
I also had another question for him.
Yes.
This may be a bit of a strange request, but do you know where the seedier, more unfortunate, downtrodden side of town would be?
Maxine cringes when he asks that.
And he looks at you and he goes, "I've seen the path you walk many a time. And while I could caution you against going, I know that it will be a place that you will no doubt seek. Yes, you seek the underbelly."
Well, if you're going to be forthright about it, yeah,
and he
you
goes,
kind of are.
"Then head to the Darkened Barrow. It is an inn to the north. Past the peaks right before you get to the lake, you will notice it. It is by a well. And I'll just ping it there for you guys. And I can go ahead and also mark it with an X.
Alright.
Boop, boop.
Let me slide out the map a bit so I can see more.
It's a little blue X.
Right.
Thank you.
I just
I-
show you this. My intentions are entirely altruistic.
And he goes, "I've heard that
I'll
a lot
mark it on your
too.
map.
And you shouldn't believe it usually. Right.
So,
We ought to be on our way.
I just have one last question.
Yes.
Have you noticed anything strange happening here by any chance?
Yes.
Such
Shadows
as-
creep at night, and bones move in the darkness. But it will be what it will be.
Right.
If you seek,
Well-
he's like, if you seek answers, I suggest going either to the Temple of Ogma or the Temple of the Raven
Ow.
Queen. And if you really must find a fight, delve into the darkness beneath this town.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And he
Um,
go,
I hope
and he looks. He doesn't look at Merrick and Trap It, but he looks at Maxine. He goes, You strike me as one not for cryptic words, so I'll be. The other two seem to be of.
If you're gonna say they're smarter than me,
And he goes, Paladins have their use. Let's just put it that way.
of course.
Look,
And?
look into the caves or into the catacombs, and you will find your answer.
Yeah, thank you. I wasn't catching any of that.
And he goes, I understand. It was hard my first time too.
Just gonna put 2 gold down on the table and go, this ain't payment. It's a gift.
And he takes it and he goes, I would never accept payment from a believer. I only accept tithe for the divine. And he
Then
puts
you
it in, and he
can.
puts it in a bucket right next to him.
Yeah, that works. Cool.
As
Well, let's go. Come on.
Yeah.
So you've got 3 locations. You can either check out the caves, check out the catacombs, or check out
sorry,
the
you're
temple.
cutting out again. What?
You can either check out the seedy part of town, the caves, the catacombs, or the 2 temples.
I was going-
Maxine's gonna hold her earring and go, hey, dipshit, you there? That's what I thought. So, we just talked to a dude, and we got some leads.
Really now?
Yeah, I know, I'm Detective Maxine now. It's fantastic.
It was amazing. You should have been there.
Thank you, Merrick.
Yes, she did all the heavy lifting.
Can it, Trap It? Anyway. We've got, like, 3 places that we can go to. I don't give a shit. I kind of want to go to the catacombs, because that feels like it's definitely going to be the place. But he was like, the seedy part of town, and, like, you know, I like beating up people who kind of are shitty. But the
Maxine,
undead are
all of
gonna
this
be
sounds
fine.
great. Let's meet back at the market in 15. I'm in the middle of a conversation. I'll call you back.
I do feel like
Son of a bitch. Let's go.
All right, and off to Malcolm's point. So as they leave the market, Malcolm and Rando are left to their own devices.
Oh, boy.
Malcolm, where would you like to lead this very lost little boy? That sounds actually very sketchy. Let me rephrase that. Where would you and your not son, elf son, like to go?
All right, Rando. I thought we ought to start at the very northern part of, well, the inside of this wall. I also
Okay.
thought maybe we'd check with the local guards to see if they had any leads, but in all honesty, I've dealt with necromancers like this before, and it's best to assume the entire town is in on it. So I'm not going to trust a whole hell of a lot of what they got to say, but I'll at least see what kind of leads they give me. So I want to check up at that northern,
Alright.
watchtower first, see if we can't talk to any of the guard.
Talking about this
All
one
right,
right here.
following all lead. Well, lead no follow. That's what I meant to say.
So y'all talking about right here?
Yeah, yeah.
Yep.
All right. All right. As you approach the the northern guard tower, there's a couple guards on watch. They don't seem to be doing a lot. They kind of are wearing the same red cloth as the pennants. They got guard crests on their armor. They got spears in their hands and, you know, short swords or long swords at their side. And they kind of see you approach, and they see your Platinum Watch symbols, and they kind of snap to attention.
Oh, shit.
Oh, I didn't think I'd have to be telling the two of you at ease, but there you are. I guess I have more authority than I thought.
And they ease up, and they're like, what can we do for you today, sir?
Well, I'm here with, I'm here to survey, a certain issue I've heard is plaguing your town. Is it possible that I can get in contact with the head of the watch, or possibly your superior?
Oh, you mean the captain? Yeah, we can put you in touch with the captain. And he goes, and he turns to the guy next to him and he goes, Tom. And he's like, yeah. And he's like, yes, sir. Go get the captain, please. He's like, oh, yes, sir. And he goes running off down the hill past y'all. And the guy kind of is just still standing at ease. He's like, is that all?
Well, that depends. Do you know anything about any necromantic rituals or strange occult behaviors in the town that you'd like to tell me about?
And he kind of looks confused. He's like, is that like magic?
In one form or another, yes.
I mean, this place has always been kind of a darker place. I mean, you can't really call yourself the world's largest mass grave and not have some weirdos and kooks coming through town. I mean, we've never really had anything like that. I mean, the occasional disorderly drunk, or the more than frequent, the end is nigh doomsday caller. But
no, but you haven't had any recent cases or anything in the news recently of a lot of strange and unorthodox happenings.
Not really, no. I mean,
Nothing?
what specifically are you looking for? I mean, that could help narrow it down. I'm not sure what you're asking.
I think maybe your commander and no more. Thank you for your cooperation.
And he's like, okay.
You know what? Pause quick. So, I just realized I have a nice little ability here.
Do you?
What's that?
Beach Beyond the Grave.
Oh, what does that do?
Would you like to tell him what it does?
Yes, I would. So, at 6th level, which we are currently at, I gain the ability to reach beyond Death's Veil in search of knowledge. Using this feature, you cast Speak with Dead without its material components.
Basically meaning
And
without
you
a dead
understand...
body.
Yeah, so we need a dead person.
No, it says without material components. You're literally just pulling a ghost.
So on the plus side, we don't have to kill anybody.
Yeah.
Well, we wouldn't want to kill anybody to cast Speak with Dead, because that would be like having a conversation with somebody you just murdered.
They're like, why did you stab me? And you're like, I thought this was a good idea.
Well, it was funny at the time.
So you want to cast Speak Beyond the Grave?
I'll wait till these guys give us what we want, and then maybe I'll do it just to scare them, and then also actually get some actual knowledge.
Okay. Tom runs back up and gets back with you. He's like, yes, the captain would like to speak with you now.
Right. If you'll take me to him.
So at this point, I feel like as you walk back and you make it in, and they're kind of like greeting you and talking to you, Maxine calls you and is just like, yeah, and you're like, oh yeah, 1 second, I'm about to talk with someone. Then you
Maxine,
go into
I'm
the
about
office.
to talk with somebody. I'll give you a call back.
Like a fucking asshole.
And then you walk into the office, and sitting there is we'll say a rather young-looking gnome, or at least rather good for his age. And he's got his feet propped up on the desk, a pipe in his mouth, and he goes, so, you're the two I've been hearing about, asking questions about necromancy and such.
Only to your guard thus far.
Well, you have to understand, with a place like this, where darkness calls creeping, I have to have eyes and ears everywhere. And he kind of like waves his hand at something that you don't really see there. And he just kind of pops the pipe back in his mouth and goes, So, how can I help you?
Well, you know I'm here with Platinum Watch, and what's your jurisdiction exactly, sir? Are you the captain just of this tower, or
I
this
shouldn't have left him alone.
part of the countryside?
Captain of the city.
Hmm.
Whole thing. I keep my lieutenant
Good
here
to know.
most days, but because we've been having some issues that I've been trying to keep under wraps with the other guards, I am attending to
All
this
right, what
one.
kind of issues here? What kind of issues we talking here?
And he looks over at Rando, and he's like, "You're not one for patience, are you?" And he pops the pipe back into his mouth and takes it a quick little...
He's young. We're trying to operate with the utmost discretion, but I thought it would be wise to at least ask the guard for any leads. That's why I'm here speaking with you.
To answer your question, no. We haven't seen the usual rituals, blood sacrifices, and the overall mass murder, or lack thereof, of our citizens. There's actually been no disturbance in the populace whatsoever. We have, however, had a spike in grave robbing and desecration.
Do you have any leads for potential suspects or locations any of these things could have been
I
smuggled
don't know
to?
why, but I don't trust this guy.
And he goes, "I have no leads at this time on who we should be looking for, but suffice it to say, I do have an idea of why they're here." And he's like, "I'll just tell you the same thing I told the last group that was through here." And he slaps a little like paper on there, and it's a note, and it seems like it's been ripped where like a dagger had pinned it to something. And it just says, "We are the reckoning. We are your demise. We are here to cleanse you of yourselves. We are the children of Mirkul." And it's just got a symbol of like a skull with snakes coming off of it.
Oh, that's a cool design.
Malcolm is going to confiscate that and place it in the evidence bag.
Okay. He just pulls out a little bag, just like, "I'm taking this." Folds it up and sticks it in there.
Well,
It's like a little bag, and you just like.
And as he's just sitting there, he's like, "Is there anything else I can help you all with today?"
no. If your men do find any leads, I expect you to come directly to us. And to be
I
as
want to see if
cooperative
he's
as
lying.
possible.
All
I want to
right.
see if he knows more. I'm gonna. So what is it? Perception or
There's
insight?
well, there's two ways you can do this.
Okay, I'm gonna
You
see which
can-
way I have
You
higher.
you can roll insight, or you can ask Shadowin.
But he doesn't seem happy with me.
I mean, it's an option. You can either roll insight or ask
But my
Shadowin.
insight's a +7, so even if I
Either
get like kind
either or. It's up to you.
of. I'll go with the first.
All right, roll insight.
God, fucking, it's a altogether 10.
To your knowledge, he's been forthright with you.
You know what? I'm just gonna summon my. What's his name again? What's my shadow's name?
Shadowin.
Shadowin, hey, buddy, question for you.
At this point, like the noble is like, "The fuck are you doing?"
He
Just,
talks to his sword, don't mind him.
it's like he just I'm just like I'm gonna put like a finger up. Just give me a second here.
Malcolm, to your knowledge, he's been telling you the truth on everything you've asked for, but he does seem to be withholding something. Which gets me to my next point. As you say that, nothing happens, but the minute you kind of just sigh and like brush your hand down by your pants, Shadowin appears behind you and he goes, "Yes."
I want to know what he knows.
Interesting.
Oh my god, my character just took a sudden turn right there.
And the gnome just looks around and he's like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" And his gaze like looks over by your shoulder and he freezes.
Yeah.
As this shadowy hand descends and he kind of starts to back up in fear and he kind of like bumps into a bookshelf. He's like, "Get that thing away from me. Don't you put that thing there." And as he like begins to speak, like the shadowy fingers go into his mind. He's like, And then the hands recede, and he just kind of like collapses to the ground.
So,
your
what's it
mind
now?
is a flood with knowledge and images flashing and flickering through your mind. Make a intelligence check.
Ugh. No. Oh no. I'm gonna use a different dice because I've been rolling nothing but less than 10 every single roll. I'm using a different goddamn dice.
Malcolm was a bit shocked in this scenario because he wasn't expecting the bright-eyed elven kid to break out the shadow demon to start corrupting people's minds, but he's about it.
I mean, to be fair, Malcolm doesn't.
I made a mistake leaving you two together.
To be fair, Malcolm, you didn't see any of that. All you saw is Rando talking to no one, and then the guy freaking out, and then the guy collapsing. So what'd you roll?
That's an 11 altogether.
Okay. You're able to sift through the images for the most part. It's a little difficult. But you're able to just kind of see what he saw. The only distinguishing thing you find out that he might have been withholding from you is that he actually is a medium. He can see and speak with the dead.
Oh.
The watch commander?
Yeah.
I mean, basically same, but...
Other than that, he's been hunting down every lead. He's gotten close a couple of times, and he's collaborated with Platinum Watch. But for the most part, he's gotten nowhere close to the cultists. All he knows is that their leader is a purple-skinned man with white tattoos curling across his body.
Oops.
Is he dead?
He blinks for a moment. He goes, "Where am I? Who am I?
Shit.
Who are you?"
Okay, hey, buddy.
Whoa,
buddy,
Rando, what did you
hey.
just do to him?
So, hey, good news. You're in perfectly good hands. My name's Rando. This is my friend Malcolm.
You?
Don't worry. You're okay. You're okay.
I'm okay.
You're okay.
I'm okay.
You're okay. Don't worry about
Who
it.
am I again?
Did he introduce himself?
He never gave his name.
Shit.
Quick, both of you make a perception check.
I'd get it. Fuck yeah.
What'd you do?
You said perception?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Whew, 13.
You're panicking.
Low as shit.
You're panicking too. You have no idea what his name is. Malcolm, for the first time in your life, you're panicking. You're like, oh my god, crime has never given me a rush like this before.
Shit.
Damn.
You're Mr.
Mr. Magoo.
Mister? That does sound like something people have called me before.
Yeah, your name's Mister.
Mister.
Did you just wipe his fucking memory?
He did. What did he do to me?
I didn't do anything.
What did you? You did what?
Look. Hey, shh. We're okay. We're gonna get through this.
Hey.
I have good news.
Oh.
I have good news. I have good news.
You have good news?
What's that, Rando?
Yes, I have good news. I need performance. I'm gonna roll performance to pull something out of my ass.
It better be a puppet or something cool.
Shit! Why am I only rolling everything less than 10?
What's your performance?
That was a 6 plus. I'm pretty sure my performance is a 0. Yeah, it's a 0.
What are you trying to do?
Can Malcolm roll Arcana to determine what magical effect took place?
Okay. Yeah, roll an Arcana.
Why are all my numbers terrible? Oh, there's a fucking 16.
20 even.
20 even, and Rando, I'm not going to give you that 16 because, like I said, you're panicking, so you're just trying to perform just like you're just singing like really off-key and very like nervously.
Mr.
Malcolm.
Yeah.
The closest thing you can relate to this is the only case you've ever seen like this before is like a this looks like an insane amped up version of a modify memory spell.
Oh god.
Where it just wiped his entire mind. Like the closest thing you can do to this is it's like feeble mind, but it didn't just reduce his intelligence. It just took everything out of his head.
Oh no. Oh,
Wait,
so
Randall's
our
just
one
gonna-
ally is now just fucking great.
I mean, to be fair, everything he knows, Rando knows.
I mean, I know it all now.
But it's tantamount to nothing.
It's still nothing. Okay, so good news. You are captain of the guard of this town. Isn't that cool?
That is pretty cool.
Yeah.
How do I do that?
You worked really hard to get this position, and you deserve it.
Okay.
Oh,
How do I
Rando,
do it?
This isn't gonna work.
Shut up, let me talk.
No, Rando.
Shadowin go like
Hold on.
Shadowin as you guys are discussing this, Shadowin's like, are you satisfied with the conclusion?
What? I thought there was balance. I thought you were all about balance. You just took everything.
You said you wanted to know what he knew.
I wanted to know it, not like fucking. Excuse me, not like freaking steal everything. Okay, look. One sec. Let me just talk to my friend. Let me just talk to. Like, I can't even really call him friend, but you know.
As
let me just talk to Malcolm.
as you're talking to Shadowin and to Malcolm, like the guy sees all of this, so he's just like talking to you, and you're just like, okay.
You can see him.
And he sees it, and he goes,
That's
"Ah!" And he starts screaming like horribly.
No,
Malcolm is
it's okay.
like- Malcolm is just like pinching the his brow, like really like, oh my fucking god, this is why we don't take the recruits out on missions.
At
like
this point, Shadowin's hand begins to extend towards the captain again.
One sec. Whoa. Hold it. 1 sec.
You said
Okay.
balance.
1 sec. 1 second. Not literally 1 second. Okay, Malcolm. He faces
Yeah.
me. Long story short, this guy hasn't been lying to us, but he can see like spirits and like dead things. Okay, that's all he knows.
Okay, thank you for invading that man's privacy. Now fix
I'm
it.
sorry, it wasn't on purpose. I didn't think this would go this far.
Well,
He looks bad.
maybe next time you shouldn't rely on the demon that exists
Look, I
within your
tried to
blade that you
figure it out on
can't
my
stop
own.
talking to that none of us hear.
I tried to figure it out on my own. It didn't work, so I asked for some assistance. Okay?
Maybe you should
I'm sorry.
only ask for assistance when you really need it.
Look, at least he's doing something, and not trying to kill us.
He looks
Look.
at like Shadowin looks at Malcolm and he goes, I do not like this one. And his hand starts to go towards Malcolm.
No.
Oh no, Malcolm.
Okay.
Malcolm doesn't see anything.
Counterspell
Malcolm just go.
Or dispel. Like, there's got to be something.
Okay, transfer the memories you gave me and put them back in him. And then you can go away for now. We good?
You said him, so it begins to point at Malcolm again.
No, not Malcolm.
No.
Mister.
And Mr.
No,
Mister's
no,
just
no,
like
no.
freaking out.
To the guard.
Fix that one. Fix that one right there.
I'm
Bad
trying.
demon.
It's
Very
it's
bad.
it's
Fix the one you broke.
I'm trying.
its hand goes into his head and it starts to. He
Oh
he
my God.
seizes up again. He's like.
Oh, Bahamut.
And then, like, as the hand recedes, he just, like, collapses. And then he sits up and his eyes flicker and he goes, oh. Who are you and what are you doing here?
Okay, let's back up. Who are you?
I asked the first question, whelp. And then he sees your badge and he goes,
Malcolm
and then he sees your badge and he goes,
Yeah.
oh, Christ. And he flops back and he's like, look, I told the last group when they came through here like a day ago that I didn't know any more.
Then that's fine. That's all we needed to do. We were just checking in with you and letting you know we were here. We're terribly sorry for wasting your time.
Get
We hope you have a
out!
good day, sir. There we go. Rando, let's go.
Also, I would like to note that no one, well, we'll talk about it later.
That no one, damn. Alright, well. Malcolm sort of, like, drags Rando out of there by, like, the scruff of his collar and is like, you want to tell me what that was back there?
Do you?
He can't hear anyone.
Oh, did Zach
Oh,
deafen
that's
himself?
a problem.
Or is there something going on with his internet?
Okay, he just
let's
dropped.
just give him a
Hopefully
second.
he'll up. Can you hear us?
There we go. Okay.
Okay.
No, Malcolm drags you out of the guard building, and he drags you around a corner away
Okay,
from
okay.
Tom and Steve, who are guarding the front door. And he's
Oh,
like,
hey. At least they didn't forget us.
Hey, you want to
And-
tell me what the hell
and-
that was back there?
The minute you say they didn't forget us, they kind of like look very confused. And like as you guys were leaving the office, by the way, like people started rushing in because he was screaming. So
Yeah, Malcolm's used to walking out of the people he's talking to or screaming afterwards. That's like nothing to him. Maybe that triggers Rando a little bit.
That's him saying goodbye to Maxine.
Yeah.
Oh my God. So, I'm not sure if I told you guys, but I have kind of a shadow demon working for me.
Well, I heard you talking to it a few times, and I put 2 and 2 together, but Jesus Christ, you nearly wiped his memory.
I did wipe his memory.
Well, you
It's
put it
kinda
back,
cool,
right?
but- Yeah, I did. But I mean, he kind of
And you
forgot
sure
about
his
us.
brains are all right and center now? You didn't leave anything out? You didn't put it in backwards, did you?
I don't know.
Ah, damn. All right, well, listen.
Look,
Next time...
I'm not the one that did it. It was my buddy.
and
I
then
don't really know what to call him.
At that,
You
Shadow Wind
called
comes out and he goes, "You called again."
No, I didn't call you. Go away for now.
And it goes back immediately.
You're gonna have
Look.
to come up with a code name for him.
Look, Rando,
I'll type his name. You need to start getting it down.
I call him buddy.
Look, Rando, I'm not your superior. I don't have the authority to say what's going to happen after that, but Jesus, I'm going to have to include it in my report.
What report? Aren't you the one that came from jail?
Yeah, but... All right, well... at the very least, I got to tell Maxine and Merrick, all right?
I mean, I could tell Maxine myself. Here, just instantly, he just like touches the earring of lets them communicate. Hey.
No.
Hey,
Listen,
Maxine,
No.
The guy like slaps your hand down, he's like
Hey,
boops it down. Just no.
Maxine, hey, we just got some really great information from the guard. We're coming over to the market to meet you now.
Yeah?
Yeah, we'll see you real soon.
Oh, I can't wait.
Everybody gather here. And I'll say this: as you step out of the guard building, you see that they've been waiting there for at least 10 to
they're
15
waiting
minutes.
for us outside.
Maxine's foot is tapping. She is waiting for an answer to this.
Damn.
What's up, guys?
Hi.
Hey.
Those were
Well-
a lot of screams.
Yeah, well, I can guarantee you it wasn't actually me this time.
Really?
Yeah, that was kind of me. My bad.
Yeah, I was
Actually-
wondering about that.
I'm a little impressed, actually.
Maxine's gonna take... how tall is Rando?
5'5".
Oh, good.
Oh, nice.
Well, Maxine is 6'2",
Oh.
and she's going to stand right in front of you and look straight down at you.
Oh.
You said my name on the fucking...
Yeah. I did,
Yeah.
but that was Malcolm asked me to do that for you.
No, I didn't.
Oh.
I told you not to call her.
Why? Hold. Malcolm. What?
Because
did
it
you
was
do?
worth. Because I didn't
What
do
did you do?
anything, and it's because it's worth talking about in person. That's why we're standing here. Come on, let's walk somewhere a little more private before we start airing out all our grievances in the middle of the town fucking square. And all the cultists are there.
Fine. You want to go talk somewhere? Fine. She's gonna take Malcolm's
crying.
ear and
Move along, folks. I'm gonna see here.
she's gonna grab Malcolm's ear and
I love that she gives him so much shit.
Rando.
Rando's ear. She's gonna
Oh.
start dragging them by their ears.
Well,
Ow,
Mary
ow,
leans
ow,
over
ow,
to trap.
ow,
Hey, I'm not the one that did anything wrong.
ow.
Should be
Malcolm, you were
interesting.
involved. somehow.
I tried to prevent him.
He actually didn't do anything wrong this time.
Oh, I don't believe that for a fucking minute.
I even tried to defend you, dude.
I can't even blame her for that. Damn.
Merrick's
Also-
gonna
It was
fall.
actually all me.
Uh-huh. I'm...
Okay, well, I mean, not all me, but he had nothing to do with it.
Mhm.
So what exactly
Alright.
happened?
All right, so we get somewhere a little more private, probably
Yeah.
like the catacombs or like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, whatever. But
Can you Walker? Can you type that the name out for me? It's Shadow Rain.
Shadow
Wind.
Wind.
It's in the chat.
You think I'd know this by now, but
Shadow Win.
yeah, Rando.
all right, there we go.
Now,
Rando, you.
Everyone just types it.
I want specifically Rando to explain his part of the story. Malcolm, for every time you interrupt, I get to hit you. So by all means, interrupt him as much as you want.
So
I'll go back to reading.
That's what I thought.
here's what happened.
Yeah?
So you guys remember all that loot we all that loot we collected, and I got this really cool ring.
Yep.
I don't care about loot, but I'll take your word for it.
Yeah, actually, ever since then, this Shadow, he calls himself Shadow Win, and he I'm kind of his master, and that's who I've been talking to. I'm not crazy, surprisingly.
Yeah, at least we know you're not going insane.
Yeah.
As soon as you
so-
say Shadow Win, it appears just. Yes.
No, I don't want to talk to you. Go back.
Can Merrick roll a intelligence check to see if he knows anything about this creature? Like if it's anything that falls in the Blood Hunter category? Fiend, Fey, or Undead?
You can roll an Arcana check. Wait,
Can I roll-
So
survival.
will this be with advantage?
Survival with advantage.
Oh.
While Merrick does this, Maxine's going to...
Never mind.
Survival.
Maxine's gonna turn to, Malcolm.
It was the
and
same
go,
number.
Did you put it in the ring?
11.
Do you have anything to do with this, Malcolm?
Absolutely nothing. I was only there to witness it.
I know in canon that he's telling the truth, but I'm gonna roll insight for Maxine.
Hawk, yes you can.
Insight.
She got a 10. Fine.
Granted, you won't see it as clear as day, you'll only see its outline.
You know what? I'm gonna believe you this time, Malcolm.
Merrick, it doesn't sound like any monster you've ever heard of. Just roll basic perception.
So, Rando,
Yeah.
I got a question for you.
Uh-huh.
Have you seen what this, shadow fart,
It
Does-
growls
I can't
in your
I can't
ear.
say his name.
No,
yeah,
like, you said go away. It did not want to leave. Like I said, 9 out of 10, it will listen to you. This time it did not. It growls when she says
Go
shadow fart.
away. Go back. Go back.
So, my
Go
question is this.
And as
Do you
sorry,
Oh, fuck.
I was gonna say, Hawk, yes, you do perceive it,
Neat.
and you see it begin to swell.
I think you pissed it off, Maxine.
What's going on?
Oh God. Not
Maxine's
so.
gonna draw
He
her
doesn't
great sword.
listen to me all the time, guys. So please don't make him angry.
Would you say this is a
You
good
should
being?
stop bringing him out
or-
if he doesn't listen to you.
I'm not doing it on purpose.
So, are you telling me you can't control this thing?
Okay, for the most part, I can. He just
Maybe
just
a
listen.
show.
He just okay. I'm gonna turn at him. Okay, so from now on, I have to say bacon. If I say that, then you show up. Otherwise, I'm just talking about you and not summoning you. Okay?
Pick a different word.
It-
You
it-
might summon
it-
him over breakfast.
It suddenly stops and it looks over at you and it goes, "You wish to summon me with smoked pork?"
I mean, it's a balance.
I could do that with my breakfast and be a very happy man.
And it growls and it like begins to shrink down in size and resign itself.
Okay, I can no longer say
That's
that.
you just decided.
That word. That word. From now on, I can no longer say that.
Okay. That word is struck from the vocabulary.
Rendo,
Yeah?
you understand I'm the commander of this mission, correct?
And you'll break me. I get that.
No, that's not. Hey. And she's gonna like bend her knees so that she's his eyesight. You are under my lead. What that means is that you're an important asset to me, and I will do everything within my power to protect you. And that's full transparency, not me bullshitting. But if you get an inkling that this shadow fart, whatever.
It growls again.
Maxine, you may want to stop calling it that and call it by its actual name.
Well, can you guys hear it?
No one can hear it. Trappit can only see the outline of it.
Oh, okay, I thought I could perceive it. Never mind.
Oh, you can only. Okay, you can only
I've
see.
been responding to.
No one can
Whatever.
see or hear it, except for Rando.
You keep me posted on this thing.
Okay. I mean, I made a contract with him on accident.
Oh, hell.
I mean, so far he hasn't killed anybody.
Setting the bar real low.
That's the most reassuring thing to
You
say.
know,
In his defense, that's more it can say than any of us.
I mean, to be fair, those standards are higher than mine for dating, so. You know?
I've had a really rough week, okay?
She's just gonna pat his head and be like, keep me posted on it. I
Okay,
mean-
so,
Is it like in your ring? Can you take it off and it go nighty-nighty?
no, he's in my shadow. Not saying your name.
It doesn't
Yeah.
respond to that.
It's actually working.
Shade victory.
Alright, next time you find something that wants to make a contract for you, at least get Malcolm to read the contract. It's the one thing he's good at. Well,
I
imagine.
do a lot of reading.
That'd
Yeah.
be another two. I know a few
Fair point,
things
okay.
about fiends.
But,
That's
what,
true.
so, you guys probably want to know what all happened with the screaming and whatnot.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
actually really curious about that.
What?
So
No,
good.
no, couldn't be bothered at all.
I'll be honest. I
Bob.
was impressed
I
with
wasn't
how
gonna
much
go
he
either
made
way.
that man squeal without even touching him. I've not seen powerful magics like that in a long time.
What?
Nothing. Never mind. I didn't speak.
No, wait a minute.
No, share with the class. I'm honestly curious. Just
No, I
I'm not
I'll
bullshitting.
be honest. I lost myself in that moment. I was a little panicked because I didn't
I'm rolling
understand.
insight on Malcolm.
And I'm a powerful wizard.
Oh, God.
That's a 9, so.
You don't believe or trust that he didn't do everything he could have.
True.
Whatever.
On that
Go
note,
on.
Yeah.
Rando, you do have an ability that you were talking about using.
Yep. But the good news is what's the word? What's the term you he's gonna look at Malcolm. What's the term you used? I wasn't bullshitting?
Yeah. Yeah, that's the word.
Yeah.
language.
What?
Never mind.
Anyway,
But
because
yeah,
we're running short on time.
long story short, I have this neat little trick here. I can more or less talk to the dead also.
Oh shit, well why didn't you say that earlier?
I
Let's try that.
forgot. I kind of forgot.
All
yeah,
right.
that would be kind of important in a situation where we're hunting down people who are turning people. on us.
Yeah.
So while you all gather in this, I'm gonna ping it right here. It's kind of this little clearing, this nice little kind of garden area by the guard barracks, where there's like a little tiny well nearby. You begin to sit down and meditate and ritual cast this piercing the veil. And as he does this, and as you all watch, the air around him begins to kind of quiver and shake and vibrate with energy. And it seems like a lot of things, and some of these you can see, they're actual hands that seem to claw at the veil itself. But as these hands claw and pierce, a force seems to be driving them back. And then the well across the street from you begins to shake. Violently shake. And then you hear a boom as a small object flips up from the well and thunks on the floor, and then begins to like flip-flop its way over there towards you all.
What the fuck is that?
Merrick's going to try to intercept it. Like, what the hell?
So you like
Malcolm
put your
wants
boot
to
down
catch
on it.
with mage hand before anybody even gets close to it.
So as it's like rolling its way towards you, once it gets within 10 feet, Malcolm, or is it 30 feet or 10 feet?
30 feet for mage hand.
So as it literally like shoots out of the well and like flips out, as soon as it starts flipping, Malcolm just plucks it out of the air and brings it kind of over. You kind of bring it over to the group.
What is it?
You all look at a very old platinum watch symbol that is scuffed and scarred, but still shines as brilliantly as the first day it was handed out.
Oh, fuck.
Was this that orange team that we were
Avok, would you like to introduce yourself?
He's mine.
As this large spectral Goliath figure that is transparent and glowing blue grabs it from Malcolm and holds it in his hands.
Oh, tell us, what do you look like, Avok?
8 foot freaking tall, covered in scars and dimly glowing blue. You see it?
Uh-huh.
go.
My ghostly brother.
Yeah, talk to me more. Tell me more.
You okay there?
So, at this point,
I'm
Rando has summoned you
righteous
using the
rage.
Speak with Dead, so technically you can ask you 3 questions. You are still technically bound by the ritual, so...
Where am I? What's going on? Who the hell are you?
I was going to ask the same questions. Well, who the hell are you?
Well, we have a couple of questions for you.
Wait a minute, am I?
Gods of the ethereal plane, you've just crossed over. Congratulations.
Shut
just
the
looking-
fuck up, Trapper. Don't lie to a Goliath, you dick.
I'm just looking around like,
But
am
he
I on?
wasn't lying. He gave an accurate description of the events. Of
Am
that
I on the surface?
Yeah,
Yes.
welcome.
Holy shit! I haven't seen the sun in a while.
You're welcome.
And he kind of
That's
and as he says this, he kind of like stretches a bit, like as if, like you can tell that he's a ghost, and like this, like it's not necessary, but it's just kind of uniform. Like he actually hasn't been out and about in a while, so he's just kind of stretching and getting like limbering up.
I look back at everyone and I just go, people!
What?
Hey, I wasn't expecting company. Wait a minute. Wait, where am I?
Well, you're dead, son.
So
I
good
know
news,
I'm
bad
dead.
news. Good news, bad news. Bad news, you're dead. Good news, I brought you back. Well,
He didn't do shit. I've been like this for a while.
Oh.
I've just
You've been haunting the well.
Well.
oh.
Is that what that led?
No, your character passed away in the area beneath town. You just happened to fight off the spirits on your way up to the surface. So the well was just the closest access route to the top.
Well, that's. Aw, my friends were down there. Oh, shit.
On that note, bing. Oh, dang it, didn't work.
Give
So
me
you
a
were with the
face
entire
claim
team
for
or
this
just
boy!
There you go. There's the sweet, sweet token you've been waiting for.
Oh, it's so blue!
The lingering soul.
We're both playing Mercer classes.
Yeah, we are.
We're getting there.
I feel compelled to answer questions. What do you got?
What you guys got for him?
You're big.
First,
That's
of
not a
all-
question,
Not a
but
question.
First of all, who are you? All that good stuff.
What happened to the rest of your squad?
Guys, let's get back to the
I mean, I'm
task.
pretty sure I have to only answer what Rando asks. Is that right?
Holy crap,
yes.
he knows my name!
No, this is out of character.
Yeah, out of character, he only has to answer Rando's things. However, Rando can actually defer the spell to another person to ask the
I'm
question.
sorry, you can't from you. Rando can what?
Defer to another person.
No, I just want to make sure that they have to at least come from him, like, yeah, what he said, or something like that.
Either yeah, what he said, or he says, or he'll have to like actually say answer Malcolm's question.
Okay.
Alright, so.
Let me
Crap,
get
I
out my
didn't think
legal
this would actually
notepad.
work. What do you
Well,
guys got? Questions? Anyone?
Who are you and what happened to your squad seems like a good place to start.
That's two separate questions.
It's 2 questions, guys. Come on.
I'll
How
ask
many
who he
questions
is
are
and
we
who
allowed to
else
ask him?
3.
I'm like a genie.
No.
Okay, we need to make this very.
Let's,
Tell
Let's
me your
think
life
about
story.
I was born and raised.
In South Philadelphia, born and raised.
On the battlefield is where I spend most
Honestly,
of
I'll
my
just cut to
days.
the point, asking if he knows where the necromancers who are doing the shit we're after are at.
alright,
That's a good question.
yeah, that's a good question. Answer that one.
Necromancer, what the fuck? Does what?
I actually can't answer that for Avok. Avok, after like that is your initial response, but then when you think about it, you have seen a lot of strange robed peoples walking around your catacombs. You even possessed one before the ritual summoned you to the surface. You have no idea if that guy's alive or dead right now.
Whoops. You know, I was inside someone's body. He probably got whaled into the ceiling. He's probably dead.
Well, I'm sure he had it coming to him.
Oh, if he was one of the necromancers, then yeah, they're probably in the catacombs.
I knew it.
Guys,
Is there any way you can come with us? Can I ask him that? Cause he looks big and tough. I guess. I mean, I could kick his ass probably.
Rando.
Would you like to join us in our quest to... What are we doing again, guys?
Stop
the
fighting
necromancers.
cultists. I
Right,
have a
fighting cultists. Would you like to join us?
I don't even know you guys. Who the hell are you?
We're Platinum Watch.
Well, I'm Rando.
Insights on that?
You can roll insight against his We're Platinum Watch thing, but
Well, Malcolm whips out his badge. Anytime
They all-
somebody
they
says
all
we're with
have-
Malcolm, we'll yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
have
they all
badges?
have badges.
Yeah. Milk does the same.
Avok goes to argue with that, but he sees the badges. It's like, oh yes, this is good. This, I like this.
Rando's gonna look over to the others. I'm kind of concerned now.
I
Avok,
point
you
to-
still have to answer the question that Rando asked you.
I'm about to. I point to that badge, to my badge. If you keep that on you, I'm tethered to that.
Maxine's gonna pick it up.
Well, Milk's a quartermaster. Would that be his possibility?
And you just see Avok is
Actually,
fine.
guys, he's my ghost.
No,
You already
Okay.
have those, boy.
Yes.
At this,
I'm releasing him right now.
at this, when you say he's my ghost, nothing appears, but you do hear a growl.
But so you already have.
Yeah, when you say
You
he's
got
my ghost,
pissed
Malcolm
off.
immediately is like, no.
Shadowin, we can share.
Hey, I'll have you know I'm my own person.
I agree
It's
with
not like
him.
I'm gonna put you into slavery.
Maxine.
Oh, you mentioned the
When you
S
say that
word.
Avok gives you a look.
Oh.
Oh.
You mentioned the S word.
And-
No.
And, he's going to lift up his arms, and you see chains on his, around his chains and shackles.
Oh.
You want to be the first kid.
All right,
Wait,
I'm gonna
the first
simplify.
Kid or
God.
Just let it go,
Oh.
boy. Just let it go.
All right.
Was that one of the questions you want me to answer?
no?
Okay, how about this? If oh God. Okay, would Max okay, Rando, I'm gonna ask you some questions. You
Okay.
don't ask him the questions I'm going to
I will
ask
not
you, 'cause
ask him.
it's-
Okay.
Okay. If he wants to, can he answer more questions than you've summoned him for?
But that sounds like asking a third question, and then we'd be out of questions if he says no.
Mayo
Then
just
I
turns
have
to
one
him and
question
asks.
I think will help us greatly.
I so want to answer this, but I have to let you do your own thing. And I think Red has the same answer that I do, but I don't want to say anything. Ask your final question.
Did you notice any specific objects on the cultist persons besides their robes? What did they look like specifically? Did they carry holy symbols of what kind? And did they have any ornate daggers or spell books or anything I could use
Any
to
purple
locate
men with
object
white
spell?
tattoos.
Well, we know somebody has a tattoo, but a tattoo isn't an object. It's a piece of art on a person's body.
Just asking if,
Person
like,
is an object.
Do I know this?
To answer your question, you know that they've been carrying a lot of objects down there. You do not know what they do. Arcana was not your thing. It was...
No, it was not.
It's not mine
But
either.
I will say this, because of the amount of time you spent with your team, and specifically with the team leader, you know the basic objects used in... Because of their pact, you know the basic objects of conjuration magic, and this seems like a very large ritual of conjuration.
Yeah, my team leader, she was a warlock. She taught me a few things. Whatever they're doing down there, it's a bunch of items that they're preparing for conjuration, it seems.
Do you remember this exact list of material components that maybe I can search for?
I don't even know how long ago that was. You see, time's been kind of a weird thing for me.
Then
How
what
long
color were
had
the
you been
robes, and what kind of design did they have on them?
That's more than 3 questions.
Damn!
You guys have used your final question, so...
Avok,
Yeah?
you mind if I ask you another question?
Sure, I'll go for it.
How long have you been dead?
What day is it?
It's the 5th year of our great Lord and Savior Paylor.
Okay, so 5 days. Do I look like I have a calendar on me?
You gotta say the year.
Yeah, what year?
Yeah, that's a good point.
We're in the 5th age.
It's 3843.
3843.
Son of a bitch. Well,
So
not
he-
as long as I was expecting, but yeah, 30 years kind of sucks.
Oh shit.
Well,
you must
the
be
good
really itching to
for
get
30
back out
years.
there, though.
Oh, it's not that
I was
long.
29.
well, the good news is if
I
you
was
want
really
to
hoping to
maybe
live.
you're like
we'll get Platinum
59.
Watch to come
I mean-
down and cast Revivify on you. Well, not Revivify, but a more powerful restoration magic. Right now, we don't have those
really-
kind of resources.
Yeah, I
also,
only have like lesser
you-
healing.
I'm gonna warn you, you need a body intact for that.
We can get you one, I'm
We could probably
sure.
find you a body.
Hey!
His body.
To
I can
be
search for his body.
Body?
Oh, his body. I
So
heard.
yeah,
a
to
body.
be specific, reincarnation does not require a body. It creates a body, but you need the original host body. Revivify requires the body and within 1 minute.
Within 1 minute.
And
then there's like
rejuvenation requires their original body, and it mends and heals all wounds, and then draws the soul back in.
To the bag of holding, my body goes.
Yeah,
I haven't-
Now,
Yeah,
wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute. My question is this.
You've
Listen,
been asking a
Merritt,
lot of questions.
you're... well, he's
If you
not
platinum
saying
watch.
no.
Yeah.
So,
Wait a minute. I thought Platinum Watch travels in groups of 6. Who's your 6th?
Yeah.
he
kind of-
actually split, so I
Well,
guess...
that wasn't his choice. His dad kidnapped him.
Oh, boo-hoo. My dad sent me to my room before, too. I don't particularly care.
Wait, is it kidnapping if it's your dad?
Probably not.
Might just be
Legally,
adoption.
yes, it can be.
But,
Basically, he split when he was supposed to be guarding our ass.
Avok,
Yeah.
my name's Maxine. I'm the champion of the competition. You know what? I'm gonna try that again. I'm still kind of fucked up from a dream I had a couple days ago.
Okay.
My name is Maxine Aline, also known as Maxine the Mauler, champion of Cord.
Ah.
And she's gonna show her mark that she won the championship cord and paladin cord.
What mark?
The
I
one
love
on
how
her
she's
arm.
showing off.
Yeah, she does. That's the few
First
times.
off, I'd like to iterate that is not the mark of.
Is it not?
It's not the mark of someone who wins the tournament.
No, but it's a mark that the mark of...
It's the mark of the champion placed specifically by Cord. It literally means you are the instrument of his will in the material plane.
Oh.
I'm the commander on this Platinum Watch mission.
Avok looks at the mark and just goes, "That's nice."
Get wrecked!
You'll be surprised to know that Maxine actually grins at this.
I mean, don't take offense, Paladin, but the gods can eat my ass.
Hey, but my boy!
I really like this dead giant. He's got great perspective on life.
Normally, that'd piss me off. But I'm a bit too intrigued by you now. It's been a good 30 years. You look like a warrior. Are you tired of just lying around?
Well, I ran out of conversation probably 29 years ago talking to myself, so yeah. I'd say I'm pretty bored and I need to get back into the action.
You want to break stuff?
Oh, no, there seems to be a misunderstanding. I'm actually a pacifist.
Wait.
Oh, shit.
I am totally kidding.
Oh!
I thought you were gonna
Avok the jokester.
Welcome to the team.
Maxine actually laughs. Another You guys are getting like all the
Maxine emotion today.
He motions to all his scars. You don't get these by just talking it out. You get one of them by talking it out, and then you learn your lesson.
You got all of them by talking. You must be very bad at talking.
Yeah, I was about to say.
No, I'm actually pretty good at that.
Oh, I'm sure.
Is there any way we can give him corporeal form?
Well, there actually it depends on.
I can do that.
There are a couple of ways.
No, I'm just gonna roll a d6 right quick.
I was gonna offer to.
Sorry, bro.
I guess my question was gonna be.
I'm going to walk into Merrick.
No. Okay, that one. No.
No, I'm going to attempt to possess Merrick. He has to make a charisma.
What the fuck?
Merrick, make a charisma saving throw.
What do I need to make?
Charisma saving throw.
14.
14.
Charisma.
Oh my god.
That's an ego death.
I get a +1 because my stone, guys.
Oh wait, are you in 10 feet of me?
Yes.
Okay, if you fail this saving throw, well, no.
I mean, I could potentially destroy him.
Hold on, silence.
Hey, whoa! First of all, I want to point out that this is even malicious.
I know.
He's literally just like walking into a meat suit. That's all it is.
If you're, hold on, I have to find. Oh God, where would it be?
I could destroy his essence right now if I wish.
Do not.
Please don't.
We've been waiting for this character for a long time. You
Yes?
can add my charisma modifier -1 to your saves. And
It shouldn't
so that
be
would
-1. It would be your charisma modifier, period.
Okay, well.
What is your charisma mod?
+4.
+4?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's a 16.
Yes.
Can we just use like counterspell or something to prevent him from possessing him?
It's not a spell.
It's not a spell, but okay. So my objective's like, well, that sucks. I can't do that for 24 hours now.
What were you trying to do? And Merrick's going to flash his wolf eyes. He's not going to transform. He's just going to try to get threatening.
Maxine's gonna put a hand on his shoulder.
I can possess you and actually see and hear what you see and hear. I can actually
possess me. You'll know my pain.
Okay.
No,
Can't do it for another 24 hours.
No. It's just that the one target can't be possessed again within 24 hours. I can possess different.
But I'm willing.
Yeah. Also, if they're willing, I can do it regardless.
I'm going to warn you before you do that he has a angry demon thing.
Guys, shut up. This will be great.
No, it won't be great.
Alright, tell you what. Just tag along with me. I don't give a fuck at this point.
But guys, I'm willing.
Yeah, I mean, any volunteers? I can actually show you some cool stuff I can do.
Real quick,
Just hop in.
Hold on. Walk is making a call.
Hop in. Damn.
real quick, just for story purposes, I'm gonna say, because Rando volunteered first, Avok, like the minute he says I'm willing, as y'all are debating this, he would have just walked right into Rando.
No, absolutely.
So the minute you get into Rando,
Have fun.
you're just kind of like in his. It's kind of like watching a game in first person view. You're just kind of like looking around. You're like, oh, neat, and you look over, and there's this glowering shadow, just standing over you with these white eyes, just unblinkingly, and it just looks at you and it goes,
I'm going to make Rando say, "What the hell is that?"
so he just says that, and he just points right at it.
I can make Rando. I can make anyone say, with any sentence, as long as it's 25 words or less. I can make them take the dash, dodge actions.
Yeah, go for
Yeah,
it.
so you basically just point at it and you go, what
Have
the
fun.
hell is that?
Well, as you can see, that is your roommate.
He is adorable.
And it looks at you and it goes, I don't do adorable.
That's
Yeah.
fascinating.
I have a certain word that I can't use anymore to summon him. Because it's a nice balanced breakfast.
Are you saying
Banana?
this out loud, like talking to your
Oh,
I'm talking to I'm talking to him /
He's talking to Shadow and Avok simultaneously. Like, you're watching Rando have a conversation with
it's
itself
also funny
threefold.
It's also out loud.
It's Rando cubed.
Why is it that I go out in the woods and pour a little bit of blood all over myself and I gotta go to prison for a year, but this guy can let 2 spirits invade his body and nobody's questioned him?
I know he was in his head. Also, I can just talk to you telepathically. After I don't need to make you talk out.
I mean,
loud.
damn,
cool.
he's taking it from 2 ends at once. Calm down.
And technically speaking, Shadowwind and Avok
Wait,
are
what's
both
that
talking to you
mean?
telepathically. They're talking to you in your head, basically. They're both doing that. So, as
Oh my God, I'm gonna
so
have
technically
the biggest
speaking,
I step out of him. I stop possessing him.
yeah, good. I was about to have like Shadowwind just like force you out.
Yeah, I got the feeling that I was about to be involved in a tough war.
Let's just put it this way. And I'm gonna say this out of character, or out of game. So Zach,
Yes.
the best way I can phrase this is you're not asking Shadowwind all the right questions. There are things he can do that you can ask him to do that you haven't been doing yet.
Ask him for the user's manual.
Wait a minute. One sec. Guys, you might want to take a couple steps back.
I feel like they're all taking a step back, and then Avok takes a step back too, even though he doesn't need to.
I'm already dead. What can happen?
Bacon.
And as you say that, Shadowwind appears just before you, and he goes,
Why? Why is everyone mad that he says bacon?
"Yes."
Alright, so I have a fun little task for you that I'd like you to do.
It looks across the party, and it goes, okay.
Alright, no, leave them alone.
Is
I
Avok
want you-
able to see this thing?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I can still see him?
Yeah, you're a ghost!
You're a ghost!
Basically,
Like,
are the only
yep,
ones
still
who
there.
know it's
That's a thing.
Alright, so I need you to more or less he's gonna look over to Maxine. Quick question. Are we here to murder everybody or capture them?
I mean, I prefer the martyr route, but I don't think.
All right.
Watch with
That's
Awesome.
mostly
Well,
their
okay.
choice.
Malcolm claps and raises his hand, and he goes, I second her motion. I'm about the murder route as well.
It depends on the
Honestly, I don't know
necromancers.
why for what they do.
If they give up, might as well take some prisoners. If they don't, then they'll die.
Oh, but we get to keep all their
Okay,
stuff if we kill them.
Hold on.
I'm
Commander,
here
you
to
were saying?
confiscate.
Yeah, confiscate it.
Commander, you were saying?
I was saying, the murder route is my preferred method, but I don't think Platinum Watch would be exactly pleased with us. So
Got
for
it.
the time being, if you can do something that's a happy little middle ground,
Okay.
I'd be impressed
Got
with
it.
you.
So, Here's what I need you to do. I need you to murder everybody that's not important and bring the guy with the purple skin and white tattoos. I want you to bring him here. And if you could find Avok's body, that's a plus. Awesome.
It just looks at you. And it blinks for a second.
Is that a problem?
Obviously, you weren't paying attention the first time we talked.
Yeah. You're kind of right.
And he literally, as he says this, he moves about 120 feet out from you. And then he tries to move beyond that, and you can see that he's literally meeting resistance, like a physical wall.
Shit, he's like me.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
He's tethered.
He's tethered.
Got it. Okay.
So he comes back to you, and he goes, "There are other things I could do, though."
Okay, what else can you do?
And he explains his...
It's a fair question.
I'm going to explain his abilities to you. He goes,
All right.
"As you've seen before." And it kind of like reaches out towards one of them, and he stops right before touching them, and he goes, "If my form breaches an object or person, I can take their properties and redistribute to balance the properties."
So you can't full-on murder someone without killing probably one of us.
And he looks at you and he goes, "The life essence has to go somewhere. For me to take, I have to give. For me to give, I have to take. You asked before.
Understandable. Got
you
it.
wanted to know what he knew. I took it, and I gave it."
All right. So, do you know where the entrance to the catacombs are?
Actually, I can help with that. My team was sent here for reconnaissance. We picked up a magic artifact. One of us should have gotten it. But yeah, it was 30 years ago, but the entrance we used to the catacombs should still be here.
We never asked your name. I'm Merrick Gilder.
Ava Korek. Yeah.
Oh.
He said the
Ava
first name. He
Korek.
didn't say the Korek part.
Ava Korek. My friends call me Ava the Stubborn. Clearly, I was too stubborn to freaking die.
Yeah,
You know,
that's
that's a really good trait.
Good quality.
In addition, Shadowin says, "There are other features if you wish."
We'll learn those later. For now, that'll be all. Thank
Okay.
you. Bacon.
He vanishes.
So,
Is his pet monster named Bacon?
we could.
His
Okay,
pet...
so
Is that an in-character question?
Yeah, that was Ava.
Merrick just he's like, yes. Its name is Bacon. Also known
Don't-
as Shadow.
No, you have to be the one to say it.
Yeah, you have to be the one to say it.
Okay, but instantly he's gonna freak out like, no, shut up!
It's okay, kid. So, I have a question for you, Avok.
What's up?
What happened to your team?
Oh,
well-
yeah, fuck, that's a good question.
We got here, and we died.
Question.
What?
Here's a question for Avok.
Yes.
How much do you think your character actually remembers of the events? Because death is a very traumatic experience, and lingering for 30 years.
At least
With
he
no
knows
one
he's
to
dead.
talk to. With no one to talk to on top of it.
How much do you remember?
Let me roll a d20.
Or you could roll a D100 and a D10.
Oh,
Let's
pathetic.
do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. D100. Yep, here you are.
Roll high.
I rolled a 80.
Oh, that's actually pretty good.
You remember everything leading up to the events of your death. What you don't remember is what happened to the artifact, your body, or the bodies of your team.
Were they with me in the catacomb?
You remember your death, your specific death. After that, everything's a bit of a blur. Let's put it this way. You were the second to die.
Right.
So you remember that, and and when you awoke, your teammates were gone. So was your body, and so was the relic. You were just there.
There was a horde of rhinos.
Rhinos.
So
Underground.
so you remember, like I said, all you remember is just your death. So you remember how it happened. You remember the blade in your back, and you remember the magic bolt that took out your friend, but you don't remember who did it.
All right. So yeah, rhinos.
So someone's an ass.
There's a lot of rhinos.
Um,
I'm
That's
calling
Rhinos.
bullshit.
kinda.
That's
You
a
can't
wise
you,
move
you
to
can't
do.
you can roll insight if you wish.
I call.
Dumb.
I'm allergic to bullshit.
Ooh,
Wise
nice one,
decision.
Rando. I'm proud.
All right, that's a 17 plus my insight, so that's a 24, I believe.
Openly fucking with you. He's
Yeah,
not
he
even
is
trying
he is
to hide
absolutely
it.
fucking with you. You can tell though that the circumstances of his death are a little painful to remember, and he doesn't want to talk about it.
I mean, if holds up the chain skin, if that topic was hard enough, what makes you think that that topic's going to be such an open book?
Okay, so first, that was an accident.
No, and hey, it's why you're still standing. Fair warning. I mean, come to think with that, yeah, I don't really care about that one. So just that one's water under the bridge. Dead, fresh wound. So how do you do
30
with that?
years, fresh wound.
I mean, you're the first people who asked about it. I haven't had to deal with that.
On that note, you have all met Avok. You've all had quite the adventure. I think I'm going to do a little bit of exposition, and then this will be where we're going to wrap it for the night.
Hell yeah.
Cool.
So, as you all take Avok's Platinum Watch badge and Trappet kind of affixes it on the so he's got his outward badge and then he's got his inside badge.
Damn it.
You can pass me around.
Yeah, no, you can pass him around. I feel like this is how it
dirty.
is that Trappet's got like his badge like in his
Oh, so
pocket or
he's bonded
something.
with me then?
Yeah, so now you've
Well,
got it. Well, not bonded, but you've got it like on the inside of your jacket. So like, if anyone's just like, who are you? Be like, Trappet Dorsland, Platinum Watch,
Indeed.
And Avok just appears like, whoa.
and this is my partner, Spooks. He's just like,
You see, he's the good cop, love. I'm the bad cop.
or the Mad Cop.
Alright, Avok, if you get annoyed of him, let me know. And
Hey,
then you
I've
can...
been without conversation for about 30 years. I could use this.
I actually have a question, Walker,
Yes.
about the way this works.
Mm.
I have the ability to summon different beasts. Could they act as basically mobile hosts for him?
That is an excellent question.
That would be pretty
Like,
sick.
say I,
It
say
actually-
I summon an
possession
ape,
does-
baboon, hyena, etc.
It actually does not specify that I can only possess humanoids. It just specifies that they have to fail a charisma save of...
Technically, since your Houndeville Omen and the other beasts you can summon through your dark arts are technically just vessels for your commands,
Mhm.
I will say that because they don't have a essential will of their own outside of yours, you could command them to resign themselves to Avok's control.
Okay. I was thinking more specifically about the creatures from my bag of tricks.
Ooh, those would be entities of their own, but yes, they would still have to fail a charisma save and then be possessed.
I mean,
I
and
mean-
thing is, I can order them on my turn as a bonus action. I can just order them like for one turn. Like, all right, for the rest of your life, you're gonna do what this guy says.
I mean, until they dissipate, because I don't know
Yeah,
how the bag
it's
of
a
tricks
24-hour
works.
thing.
Oh, yeah, so.
Hey, free host.
Yeah,
For the next of your mayfly long life, you're gonna...
yeah. Like, I was just thinking because that way we would not have to worry about him being tethered to me. Say if he wants to move off on his own and do.
I mean, I can go within 150 feet of the badge.
Yeah.
Alright, so, you all retreat to a nice inn for the evening. I'm gonna go ahead and drag y'all over there. We're gonna...
For the
Oop,
sake
you
of us
over there?
for the sake of us in the population, I'm going to say that Avok is probably hidden inside one of you right now.
Yeah, you
Probably.
can
I mean, you can also dissipate your form. You can return to your object.
I nearly...
Oh,
said
I can go
something
inside the
rude.
object?
Yeah, I mean, you can...
Oh, sweet. Then whoop.
Yeah, you
Rub
can...
the lamp if
It's
needed.
legit like a genie. You go inside the object...
He's a Pokeball!
Or the best way I can describe it is it's kind of like heroic spirits and fate. You can go into like this
I was
plane
about to say
on
like
your
a
own.
servant from Fate. That's what I've been picturing him as the whole time.
Yeah.
I am your stand.
Yes.
He is like, this is my stand, Avok, or I summon Berserker, and then Avok just appears like, what's up, bitch?
Okay.
Omari wa shinderu.
All right, my
Copy
character's a
that.
con artist, Red. We can have a lot of fun with this.
Oh no!
I was hoping you'd say that.
What have I done?
All the scams that we can pull.
I mean, I rolled pretty good for his stats.
He did. He did.
I mean, let's just say he has a few magic tricks of his own.
On this note, we're going to wrap it for the night. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say that as you all make your way through the streets, as dawn begins to fade and dusk sets in, you all head to an inn known as the Sharpened Bone and turn in for the night. You all make it a quick. You turn in early for the night because you decide that the best way to catch these cultists in the act is to live in their home environment, the night.
At night.
So next session we will be resuming at nighttime. On that note, thank you all for tuning into this stream. It has been a blast.
Oh man,
this has been a monumentous stream. My God.
I'm sorry.
I was like, where am I? Where am I going to be? And then you mentioned the catacombs. I was like, that's what makes the most sense for where I'd be. And then you pulled that stuff about summoning me. I was like, this works too.
Yeah, I was going to either send them down there or have them pop up. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and stop the stream. And
no, I love this version better. This is so much more interesting.
Instantly, I'm like, hey, let's just summon. I'm like, guys, let's just summon a ghost here.
Dude, as soon as you said that, my eyes went wide. Like, oh,
on
is that going to be how this goes down?
On that note, thank you all for tuning in. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Time.